Ooh, you do double recording.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. It seems as though maybe you've been burnt once.
Part of it's like I've just
yeah, just like double safe.
Yeah, this is easier just to rip and then throw in to my podcast stuff, and then the video is nice because what I used to do was just do the video without any audio and then I'd match it up. But now I run it all through.
Oh, sure.
So
nice.
it
so you just have two different files. You can
exactly.
Away.
It's super easy.
Thank you.
I could show you. I was going to show you maybe my Podbean stuff. This is at the start of the podcast. So this is where I actually host my podcast.
Oh, okay.
And so, let me pull this up. And this is kind of how I get my statistics. And then it tells me like ages, and it like runs through all the statistics of different things. And it's probably not super crazy right now, but when you get into the statistics,
grabs.
upward
trend.
Yeah, and so then then I can see like where people are at, and then if you get deep into stuff, then it gets into.
Someone listening from Australia.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, at one point, I was podcasting, and we were talking about kind of the stuff that's happening in Iraq, and then all of a sudden, I was just getting thousands of downloads from Iraq, and it was freaking me out. Yeah, it's definitely the CIA.
Yeah.
They were like, listen,
for sure.
100%. They were like,
that's weird.
What are those guys talking about? It was just crazy. You'd see all of it, and then we'd just go like crazy off of just one episode. I think it's because of Iraq. We did another one. I did another episode that just the title caught. It was perfect at the right time.
Oh, yeah.
And then everyone...
hit the algae rhythms.
Yeah, hit the algae. Yeah, it was awesome. So
nice.
I don't know where... If I get into it, you can get down to, like, gender and things like that. And then YouTube, if you look at YouTube, does the same statistic, like, breakdown. But it's on a lot less scale.
Yeah.
Majority of my listens come through my, like, Podbean.
Area. That's wild. That's cool shit.
Yeah, it's cool. So, dude, welcome.
Thank you.
I'll start that right there, dude.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Let me go like this.
Okay.
I know about you through Matt Whitney.
Okay.
And so that's how I kind of knew about you. And then I started seeing you as a mutual on my Twitter timeline.
Yeah.
And I think either you followed me, I followed you, one of the two. I don't remember what it was. Started following what you're doing. I know your brother.
Yep.
I've like hung out with him a couple times.
Yep. You know all the right people.
And all the right people. I did try with him.
Really?
Rock the Quarry.
Cool.
So,
dude. That's awesome.
Bike, run, all that stuff. So when I was training, he was kind of doing the same thing. I mean, he's on another level.
Dude, he's like the level up above the level up above.
Yeah.
like I remember him going through some of his triathlon training, and it was just like it like became a religion. You're like, oh, you're
it's a
dedication.
Doing it.
Yeah. That was really cool, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know all the right people.
Yeah, and I think this is really weird because I know some other stuff about you that you would have never expected. I knew who one of your teachers were in elementary school. I knew you went to Waterford.
Yep.
Yeah, which is weird, right? But I went to marriage counseling, and the Mike and Tara, what's her last name?
Oh.
Tara was your...
Yes. Yeah.
And so she said, because I was talking about Kyle Cook and those people,
and
she said, "Do you know Collin and Cameron?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Oh, that's
and so
funny.
She's like, just like small world like that, and I'll remember those things. So
that's super cool.
We are so adjacent to each other. We've like run in the same streams.
Yeah, we've been in the same path, and it's time we collide.
Time to do the podcast. So
I love it.
I just felt like, hey, I need to get you on the podcast.
Yeah,
so
I appreciate it. Likewise, just seeing it's stupid, everyone goes on Twitter and it's like they're on their best boy bullshit. That's like I'm like sideways right now, and I gotta say something about it. And so I think it's cool. Definitely some of the posts I've made that you've interacted with, I'm like, he gets it.
Yeah,
he understands.
Dude, the hustle mentality one that you did the other, that was so good.
You make $50,000 a year, but you drive $60,000.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah. It's so true. You want a beer?
Yes, please.
I have all types of beers.
Baby,
so Upland, I have some War Pigs, which is from Three Floyds area, I think.
Dude, I'm gonna have a Busch Light.
Go for it.
I have never had Busch.
What?
I've been on like kind of a kick lately for just like budget beers.
Yeah.
And I found like obviously everybody likes PBR. I don't know anyone that doesn't really like PBR. Right. But Hams, have you ever had Hams?
I love Hams.
Okay, good. I love Hams
so much. Yeah.
That's been like $18 for like a 30 pack.
Yeah, it's cheap.
I love it. Cheers.
Yeah.
Busch.
This is what my old roommate Lincoln would say. It's not about the beers you drink; it's about the people you drink the beers with. And that's all that matters. It's not about That
was definitely true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is Busch Light.
Yeah.
It is Busch Light, but it is definitely about who you drink it with.
It's not bad. It's a cheap beer. Yeah. My family on my mom's side loves this stuff. And so, I mean, they're from southern, a little south of it, south of us. And so,
Brewed in USA, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah. I think it's the same people who do Budweiser.
Okay.
I think it's the
Blood
same.
heavy?
Mm-hmm. Busch Latte. That's what they call it.
And it's Friday.
I know.
It's Friday. I'm glad to be drinking a beer. It's beer 30. Like, we're about an hour past beer 30.
Yeah. Yeah. It's time, dude. Time to drink. Time to chill. All right. So, let me introduce you. Collin.
Okay.
Gruntman. I don't know if I want to throw your last name out there.
Nope. That's fine.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce it to my audience real quick.
Okay. This is the part where I always stop and I'm like, what am I actually? What do I do?
These are the deep questions.
I am an automotive videographer, a creator, and a skilled laborer.
Nice.
So, diverse background, I guess. I grew up kind of studying mechanics and stuff. My dad, pretty mechanical person, and kind of worked a lot of factory jobs, I guess.
Yeah.
So
that's a big thing around here.
Yeah, right.
Manufacturing's huge.
Yeah, not a new story, definitely.
Yeah.
Kind of like auto mechanics and stuff, and always kind of been a car person. I ran a small automotive shop for a while and just did this, that, and the other thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Jobs on cars, yeah. So I had a lot of automotive experience, and actually through working and wrenching on cars, I started making little videos and content and stuff there for the page or whatever. And then I rekindled this crazy childhood reminiscent stage of I like doing this a lot. And so I just kind of pursued videography and filmmaking and stuff. And that's how I know Matt.
Yeah.
That's
because he's huge into the videography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he was the first person I ever was hey, I want to know more about this thing. Can you teach? What do you recommend? Where do I start? And so I ended up editing a scene for Moondance. The film that he did?
Yeah.
And so,
I think he showed me that scene too.
Yeah,
it was the flashback scene.
Yeah. And it's wild. That was just thinking back on that. That was almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I feel
he got so screwed.
Yeah.
It was he released, for those who don't know, Matt is a director, and he released his Moondance the literally week of COVID.
The day that the news got big.
Yeah, the day that they shut down everything. He was those 2 weeks. He got so screwed. I felt bad.
Well, and I remember too.
Because he's 17 different places he had got. He was it was getting big.
Yeah.
Oh, his momentum.
Well, and I remember that whole 2 weeks up until that. He was I was helping him. He's hey, I need a hard drive. I need this. This is going on. And he had to export this whole feature length film onto this really weird theater format that they just basically want every frame of the movie exported as
one frame.
I don't know if he's told you about it a little bit, but yeah, they want each frame and then an audio track. So he was working all night, just staying up all night making these and sending them around.
Oh no.
And then I was all excited. I was hell yeah, we're gonna watch Moondance and go to the art house, and I was oh no.
Yeah.
Here.
I went to the art, because there was a couple showings at the art house.
Okay, yeah.
I saw it there, but it was weird. They almost shut it down because they weren't worried. They were worried about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really odd introduction to COVID. It was such a bummer because I was it was almost because I'd watched them preparing this, exporting it, getting all the final details, and I was oh, this is so cool! Wow, yeah, Matt. And then it felt so eerie because I was man, you want to be so excited, but the whole world's freaking out right now.
Yeah, everything's starting to. Everything's. It's just you start to see this dark turn happen. Yeah. And you're oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I love the movie. I've watched it a couple times.
Yeah.
Get those stream numbers up. Watch it on Amazon.
Yeah.
But he's on to the next stuff. He's on his next projects.
Yeah.
He's moved on and just said, all right, well, that's, he just took it like everybody else. Okay, these are the cards I got. Let's move forward.
I think he learned a lot from that, which is the good thing.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing. It was interesting because it was a musical too. He did something that it was so cool.
Wildly choreographed too. That was, I remember the first time
all in Kalamazoo too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool as well. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you're good. The first time I talked to him about it, it's hearing him describe, and I was whoa, it seems so complicated. And then I started seeing the scenes out of the movie. I was oh, you made a movie. This is the real deal. Just talking about choreographers and stuff, and I was wow, what a jeez. It's almost at that point, right, it's almost like, yeah, you want people to see it, but you're like, I did that, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know? And so, it was cool. But yeah. He's on his next stuff.
He is, yeah. I think it'll hit when it hits.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing. There's a reason why it didn't hit now, COVID, but I think there's probably good reasons why. It just sucks because it's like a buddy and you see it and all the work they went into it.
Yeah.
Have you seen his documentary that he did? Yes. That was I loved that. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
I watched that at, he had like a viewing at...
was it Trine? Or
somewhere like
Huntington?
Yeah, Huntington. Yeah, so that was cool. Watch that. He's like one of those people that like he's like sneaky busy. Like you see him, and he's like so casual, cool.
Just chilling.
Like, I was up till like 3 a.m. like writing script. You're like, oh, like okay, like
when did that?
Yeah, you see him, and then it's like he's done so much in between the time you last saw him and then you're like, what are you doing? You're a powerhouse. So that's amazing.
We were in the same Bible study. We call it a life group, and so we'd see each other every week. So it was cool to just get updates in his life. It was really nice. Yeah. And he lives so close.
Yep.
Yeah. And
yep.
Part of the homie. So that kindled your like love again for
like
video and stuff. Yeah. Okay. And
so, I had it's like I don't know,
2019 or 2020. The start of 2020 is when you started doing video.
Yeah. Like, right? Actually.
Right before?
Well, just like everyone, like it was like around that time, like right then.
Yeah.
Started editing, and that was just kind of really all I was messing with at the time.
Yeah.
Trying to learn, and it was just like it's that industry is one that fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to say it, there was a higher demand for because people wanted to make more things. People could consume, like they didn't have to be somewhere.
Right.
So that was kind of advantageous, I feel like, in that industry starting up, and I got just connected early on with Josh Turner. He is an automotive photographer in the area. Shout out Josh Turner if he's listening. Josh Turner is the photo goat, at least in the automotive world.
Yeah.
And he had like a gimbal and a camera, and because at the time I had like a GoPro, it was like I don't know, I didn't really know what I was doing, and so we started working together and learning about video kind of together, and got one guy early on at a detail shop in Warsaw that
very cool.
Like had us just do like projects over and over and over and over. So we're like, oh, okay. So we were able to kind of like be immersed into a workflow that we really didn't know that much about, but got to work together and figure out how to make all of that go down like easily and take less time. Because we immediately realized like, this is not something we're charging people enough for because it feels like a lot of work right now.
Yeah.
But we just did it because it was what we needed to do, and we worked with this guy for a while.
That's you're cheaper because you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. And as that skill comes, and you build that portfolio. You say, sorry, this bush is hitting.
It's like pre-dinner empty stomach.
Yeah. This is good. That's crazy. So that's what I've seen some of your videos, and let me say they're fantastic. Like,
thank you.
Especially because you do like these around, and
lots
as
of long
it's
shots.
driving, you're like following it too, and it's so cool. I think on Twitter you've posted a couple.
A couple. So clips. Sweet. Yeah, most on Instagram. That's pretty much the only social media I use anymore. Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter is just like for people that I like know somewhat intimately or know that like.
But Instagram's your front-facing business.
Yeah,
would you say? And that is CGV, which is
at CGVisuals.us.
CGVisuals and Collin Gruntman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. But I don't really so much affiliate like myself necessarily with the business front. At least like I don't know. I kind of like to keep that separated. I have this like weird like imposter type like syndrome attitude towards like marketing and stuff, and I really quite honestly get like kind of frustrated at people that use like themselves
as the
product or service, and so
like I'm a what was it like not counseling consulting, you know what I mean, or something like that, right? It's just them, they're doing the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. And it like early on, I called the business like my name Visuals, and then I was like, I don't even like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that. I want to take that away. So it's just CGV. I was like, that's 3 letters. No one cares really what it actually means. Like, and so that's what it is. And so I try and keep like, I'll be in like a few like reels or something here and there, but I don't know. I have like a weird aversion to being like the like
limelight. You're the one.
Yeah,
This is all about you and what you're doing. No, this is about the customer and the product and things like that.
Yeah, the customers and like the clients and people. Mostly the people that like I've met so many cool people just from doing that. Like some people that are some of my best friends now. You know that I didn't know 2 years ago. And Trey Marquise. Let's see, John Trey Vaughn.
I need to get him on the podcast at some point too.
Yeah,
we've talked about it. We talked about it a couple times. I met him at a couple
Trey?
different things. Yeah, yeah.
Super chill. I love John Trey. We, I think it was 4 weeks ago now. We all got to, like, everybody. Tyrus, a guy named Cortland, Gillespie, High Tech, and Trey. A bunch of people all got together and we shot a film with Trey. And it is, like, the best thing. Like my new favorite hobby. Like, I started, like, a Discord server, right? Because, like, I feel like I'm always working on something. And I love to be able to sit, like, with people. Because I'm very, like, I need to be stimulated in a lot of ways. I'm, like, very, very ADHD. And so I have to be stimulated in so many ways to, like, stay forward. It's bizarre, but I just found that's what it is. You know, that's how I work.
Yeah.
And so I love being on Discord and, like, working on a project, and then like
someone pops in and starts chatting with you as you're doing it. Yes.
Raul Velez, he's like a blender. He's getting into Blender and like 3D animation.
Snap. Okay.
And there's photographers in there. There's audio people. There's like, so it's just so fun that like everybody's each like working on their own project, and you like pull up your screen. You're like, yo, what is that? Like, what are you working on? Like, that looks so cool. Or maybe they're like, oh, well, you know, what do you think I should do with this?
It's easy to share your stream, show that stuff, all that.
So I mean, if anyone listening is like super into video or, you know, anything creative, we do have a Discord server. If you reach out on Instagram, I'll get you the link. I don't even know really.
I could post the link in my.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description of the.
Perfect. Yeah,
and then even in the comments and stuff.
Yeah, and everyone's welcome. Anyone that's creative with anything. I mean, it's just fun. Like Cameron gets on there too, you know, and he'll like stream what he's doing, video, or he'll be designing something in the computer. It's just like fun to be collaborative together.
Do you have like different channels for different things?
Right now, I just have like one general like filmmaking server that people just pop in.
Do you have like a little where you can just jump into the voice channel and everyone just sits in the voice channel and talks, or is it like an actual channel where people are talking? Like
it's open. It's open. Yeah. Okay. So like if you just jump in, it'll pop up like let you know you're there, and you can share your screen or
that's
do whatever.
Super cool. Yeah. I love Discord. I'm a gamer, so
perfect. I
might have to jump in. I don't do things other than maybe the podcast, but most of the time I'm gaming when I'm on my computer.
Yeah, I mean that's cool too because you know people hop on and game for a while. It's just so like, hey man, what are you doing? Like I just
it's like the lobby at the college dorm. Kind of. That's what your Discord server is. In a way, like all your bros are hanging out doing something, playing. Exactly. Or the friend's house that you go to on a Friday night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. But everyone's free to be like productive, comfortable.
Right.
Or
hop in, hop out whenever they want. There's no.
Exactly. So it's like, I'm gonna play a game. Like, I just want to blow some steam off tonight. Play a game. Like, great, cool, do it. Like, we're here hanging. You know, it's like just a collaborative, fun place to be. It's like hanging out while you're still allowed to be like being productive, I guess, because that seems to be my struggle lately. I try and do too much, and so it's just nice to like have that.
Are you primarily all you do now is CGVisuals?
No, dude. I work full time at Janus Motorcycles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, I love Janus.
Yeah.
You know, my neighbor is Grant used to be my neighbor for a long time. Now it's Ryan. So Ryan and Tiffany, it's just like a Janus. Everyone is Janus there.
I think Richard lives down the street.
Does he really? Yeah, I know Richard lives at one point lives on 7th, but I don't because I've been to his house.
I don't know.
But he might live over here too.
I don't know if he lives here or what.
He does. He lived. Now this was 3 years ago, but when Grant was living here on 7th Street, but he could live around here now. That's totally. He's super cool. I love Richard. He's cool.
Yeah, he is.
I had a hard time understanding what he was saying one time because of where he comes from, his accent. And he was just saying, he's saying 7th, and I kept on thinking he was saying South. Like, South. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like,
he does have, like, almost like a
most of the time, you know exactly what he's saying.
Yeah.
There's just, like, one or two words.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's everywhere. Mm-hmm. You know, there's some Amish people that say weird things, too. They talk about, like, bag, or even if they say 7.
Yeah.
Like, seven. I don't know. You're like, what are they?
Yeah.
Pepsi?
Yeah.
So.
But yeah.
So it's just fun. Anyways,
Yeah, I work full time there.
Okay. That's cool.
Building the coolest motorcycles on planet Earth.
Yeah, and the coolest things made in Indiana, right?
Yeah, yep.
Well, didn't they just win an award?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did. That was really cool. It's just interesting seeing a startup like that. Like, just being on the inside of that is like, what in the world? Like, what's happening? Like, because it's like everybody does probably 3 different jobs.
Yeah.
And it's
is it
straight up.
Shoot by the hip, just go with what you can?
A little bit, yeah. And to be perfectly honest, you know,
That's
this is nothing against anything, but that is like really hard for me to adapt to be perfectly honest. I am like a planner. I'm calm and collected, and I like to, when I stretch the bowstring back and let go, I like to make sure I'm gonna like
hit it.
Damn near bullseye. You know, like, and so it's been good for me to see like how to let go of some of that a little bit and just be like, okay, we're just
rolling with the flow right now.
Yeah, we're just taking the punches here, like moving around. But it's stressful. It's a startup. It's stressful. But everyone, thankfully, is open-minded. Yeah. And like willing to have a tough conversation if it comes down to that.
That's cool. Real people. That's what I've noticed. I used to work at Mental Travel. Back when Mental Travel was on that side. Okay. Like that was 2016 is when I from 2014 to 2016, 17.
Okay.
There, so
that'd be the earlier days for sure. Yeah.
And I think your brother was working there in those days. Does he still work there?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like almost worked there for 10 years, I think.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Maybe not 10 years. Oh, man, I don't know. It's been a while, though. Yeah. Wow. I'm trying to think now, like, holy crap, has it been 10 years? I don't know, but long time. And so they opened a metal fab shop, and I, at the time, worked with my dad doing metal fab, and they were bringing production of their 450 in-house. Okay. Because there's some production mishaps elsewhere. Yeah.
And it's better if you can control it.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So I kind of got hired to do that, and it's been the road. It's been a road for sure.
I heard most of everything is in-house except for a couple parts you can't get, but you guys are almost at the point where almost everything is either Indiana made,
15 miles or so.
Some Amish guy doing it somewhere else. Yeah,
that's Cameron's job. He's like the collector. He goes on. They call it the milk run. He goes on the milk run and gets all the parts and stuff.
Yeah. We are blessed, dude, because there is so many like people that know how to do stuff. You know, they work with their hands. So all right. I have a couple questions, and we'll get back to this. But are you always been in Goshen?
Yeah.
Your whole life? Okay. Yeah. So
I was born in Goshen Hospital.
You just raised,
yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because I mean, if you went to Waterford, that makes sense too. So
yeah. I've been here my whole life, for better or for worse. There was a point in time I kind of like resented it a little bit, and then later in life was like, actually, like,
I've been to some other towns. This is way cool.
Yeah. You're like, nah, this is cool here. Like, we got it. It's cool. Yeah. But yeah, lived here my whole life.
That's not a bad thing. I've since I was 2, basically. I've lived here. So
basically,
I moved away for a little bit. Like I went to college away, and I came back. And I'm like, this actually is not a bad place. Mm-hmm. This has got some really cool things.
Did you go like far away for college?
No, Grace College.
Oh, okay.
Don't ever go there, man.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. I hit on Grace College a lot. Like I punched down on it, and I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. There's some good things that came out of it. I was talking to a lady this week. Some good things, but there's some. It's just I don't know if you felt this in Goshen, but there's like a religious spirit sometimes.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about. And that was there too, and in a different way. And Warsaw's got its own vibes. Yeah. If you can imagine that a religious vibe in Warsaw, but then like accentuated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know how like in Warsaw? I don't know if you know this. In Warsaw, like if you're part of the people who make the implants and stuff, or the orthopedics. Zimmer, yeah. Then you're hot shit. Yeah. You're doing good stuff. Top dog. Yeah. Right. And everyone else is nothing. But now imagine that in a religious concept. And also a business.
So it's like a bunch of people that work directly for God in heaven. Yeah. And they're like all like looking down. Yeah.
But they also work for Zimmer too.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. But there were some good things that came from it. I have a lot of good friends. I learned some good stuff. Is that where Grace is in Warsaw? Warsaw, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's right there. So
I see.
To answer your question, no, I didn't go very far at all.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
45 minutes down the road.
Yeah. I mean, I've spent enough time in Warsaw that I definitely pick up on that. We toured Zimmer.
Okay.
For just, we bought some equipment from them, and we toured that place, and it was like, what?
Yeah, there's some...
that place is top tier.
Yeah.
Like,
there's some stuff happening there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very, very precise things happen in there, too. It's nuts.
And very controlled. I've had friends who've worked different jobs there, and they got paid so well.
Oh, yeah.
But they're like, I'm just doing this one thing. I'm in a suit. I'm in a controlled environment. I'm like, that's so crazy. So, yeah. Because it's medical, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And Warsaw, that's all Warsaw is. If you ever drive around it, it's like...
Yeah. They have like a whole complex. It's like a whole... I swear it's like a whole zip code. Like, it's huge. Like, we were walking...
They have their own stoplight, and you go, like, from plant to plant to plant. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they even have, like, a transportation, like a small bus that goes, like, through the plants or something. But, yeah, that place is nuts. I could see the authoritarian, like, you know, we own this area type. Like, you wouldn't be anything without us.
Yeah, your house is on the lake, and so, therefore, you're worse than us in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? My other question I had for you was, you said you ran a car shop.
Yeah.
For a while. What was that like? Was that in Goshen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's where I met most of the people from Janus.
Okay.
Like, or at least established a relationship, I suppose. So while I worked with my dad, doing metal fab and whatnot, he built like a bunch of automation machines and stuff for another company in Goshen that just like grew like crazy, and they needed machines and just like really crazy like one-off stuff. Okay. And so I got to kind of see that. Oh, dude, I'm gonna do.
You want something else?
Yeah. What do we got? What's
Wheat
that?
ale. I'm sorry, you were right in the middle of that.
No, you're good.
We got some IPAs. Are you into IPAs?
Yeah, I mean.
I got this porter.
Okay. You know what? I can't do dark. I'm not gonna do dark.
There's a light.
Okay.
This is like a.
Oh yeah.
Like
okay.
IPA, but like if you diet IPA.
Yes, I've had these. Yeah. I'll do that. I like crispy anymore. I drank like a Guinness. Like,
I love
like 2 Guinness draft whatever the ones with the little like ball in it.
Oh yeah, the good ones. The only way to drink Guinness if you're gonna.
Yeah, well, I mean they're good, right? They're good, but I had a headache. I drank these. I drank 2 of them at like 6:30 p.m. and by like 8:30 my head was throbbing.
Really?
I just had a terrible headache, and for the first time in my life I was hungover. I was just like, wait, this is what happens when people drink too much. Like, why would you ever drink alcohol if this happens like that? I was like, oh,
it's not fun.
So I'm like swerving the dark beer lately. Like,
really?
Yeah, okay, I'm like, I don't want to do that again. Like, I drank 2, you know? I was like, what in the world?
That's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something I like grew into, like some sort of weird intolerance, but
every 7, I think an allergy just came up to it or something. Yeah,
I don't know.
I love Guinness, man. That's one of my favorite beers. But
I'll revisit it someday.
No, don't do it because of me. But yeah, if you got a headache, man, I feel it's like when the first time I ever got really sick off of a liquor. Like I've never touched tequila since. You know what I mean? Like it's like I feel you. There may be really good tequilas out there, and there's a lot of people that love tequila, but it's not something I'm really ever going to drink again.
Tickles that like twinge.
Yeah, like okay, I remember this. This is not fun. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But anyways, I was saying the whole
car shop. Sorry. Yep.
Oh, car shop. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I forget what was the question.
Yeah. So where was it at? It was in Goshen. It was something that just tell me a little bit about that. And then you were telling me that you met the Janus guys through that, and then you're also helping your dad make these like machines that were one off for this and that.
Yeah. So I worked with my dad, and that's
cool.
General job description there was like metal fab, like just like we did all kinds of stuff. Like we moved really heavy, big stuff. We assembled large structures for framing and whatnot, steel framing in industrial buildings, and he was just kind of like an odd job contractor that got contracted to do this stuff that's like we actually don't like exactly know how we're gonna do this, so we need maybe like
you're problem solving every single time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And so that's I think where
that's so cool though.
My planning attitude comes into is like
you can't control it.
If you move wrong, people can die.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to move too quick. And so did that.
Does that come from your dad a little bit too? Like, was he thought through all those things too?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
To be who probably at that level too, you want to like if you're getting those jobs, you want to make sure that you don't mess up.
Yeah. Well, he's like, shout out to my dad. He has a very visual mind, so he like does not use CAD software, but he can build pretty much anything out of steel, like out of his head, and like just kind of nail it. Like he's like, okay, I know we need it to be this big, this big. Like he comes up with really wild contraptions.
Wow.
We built weld cells and other automated equipment. So like we put a robot in a like a welding cell where it's like kind of octagonal almost, and it was just a job to like it was just doing really simple welding. Like it would like take a plate and a square post, and it would all the operator had to do was put that plate in there, put the post in, lock it, clamp, and close the door, and hit a button, and they'd load up 4 cells, and then it would go, and that robot would like weld each individual cell and come back. And given he didn't do like the robot programming, he did the installation, wiring, and the automation on the rest of the cabinet, because it had like pneumatic doors and stuff like that. Like really kind of.
It wasn't the robot, but it was to make that environment so the robot could actually do the things it needed to do.
Yeah. And programming the interface to
work with.
To communicate through like a laptop. Programming that interface.
Wow, that's crazy.
It was
and
cool.
to think through like, okay, what are all of the negatives if they put the let's say they put the one bar in this way, if
like
it's not,
safeties,
or even like this is where they have to put the plate in. If they put it in this way, it's not going to work. You have to think about all those different things. That's very unique. He didn't use CAD for that.
No,
he just built it.
Sometimes it was like really frustrating.
Yeah,
because we did end up having to. He built one, and then we had to build another one like almost 3 years later.
Okay,
and I mean he built that before I had ever really started working with him at the shop there, and it was like 3 years later, and he's like, oh man, he's like, this is where I know I should be using CAD here. And it was kind of frustrating because it was almost like everything was like kind of stop, go. But we just, we would go back. He'd like take a trip out there and like kind of like go back over it and like nailed it perfectly identical to the other.
Really? Yeah.
Like, what?
But he really like took his time and measured to figure it out. Yeah.
Yes. And basically those things ran every day since we like installed them.
Yeah.
Without any issue. Like,
that's awesome.
Run.
Is he still running this business?
Yeah.
Okay. What? Can we drop it or no?
Yeah. R&D Metal Fab is what it's called. He's kind of low key. He's just been that way. The whole.
We won't blow him up. All 30 people that listen.
They can all hit him up and have huge projects.
Like we have a robot. Yeah.
But so did that, and before that I had worked at an auto shop. So I had probably 2 years of like electrical diagnostic experience. That was like the shop I worked at. Like my job was like diagnostics. So like check engine lights, ABS lights, all that kind of like whatever stuff.
Problem solving.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the indicator. Now I got to figure out what's wrong with it.
Yeah, and work backwards. And so I got to do that for quite a while. And
this was right out of high school?
No. Right out of high school. What did I do? I don't know.
That's a long time ago. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I've worked quite a few places. All somewhat varying degrees of like different. Like I've worked retail and like I used to sell auto parts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like pretty deep automotive.
In that niche.
Background.
That's really cool. So you're saying you worked at this job that you were diagnosing things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And so did that, and then just got like, I realized early on that like I'm not really good with like not authority, but just not doing things my way, and I try not to be like toxic about it or anything. Like I work with people, but get really frustrated at like long-term problems. Like I can recognize patterns pretty quickly, and I think that when I recognize a pattern and see like a solution that seems in my head like so like if you just
obvious.
Like don't do this, that won't happen again, and not be able to like I don't know how to project myself to people to like lead super correctly to communicate that to them and be like a good like leader.
Yeah.
So I end up like frustrated sometimes because I'm not like a super alpha male type. Like I don't like yelling at people or
tell them
like,
what to do. Or
yeah. So that causes a problem where like I'm like okay I feel like I know what we should be doing here, but
I'm also not going to step over everyone. Yeah. And like yeah. I feel that.
So that's caused a lot of problems.
How do you communicate that to people? Do you just not sometimes, or do you just like? Do you just kind of like follow with it? That's tough. Yeah.
Well,
it's cool that you. I'll say it's cool that you realize that. Like that's a really. I mean, you're thinking about different things. That's a really good thing.
I just kind of, I guess.
I mean, if you see patterns too, that's a really good thing too.
I think I mostly just get frustrated. I'll be honest. I think I mostly just get frustrated, and like that's like the appeal to self-employment.
Yeah.
It's like I just make the rules.
Yeah.
And
they're not breathing down your neck and like trying to make you do this thing where you're like, dude, this is the way we need to go.
Yeah.
Or like, just let me do my thing too.
Yeah. So and I guess maybe a better answer to that question is how do you deal with that is just kind of relax into a collaborator mindset. Like, okay, like you're flying the ship here. Like maybe I don't like exactly the way we're doing this, but I'm gonna try and be a good sport about it and roll forward and help. But
yeah.
I realize that's just like been a pattern. Like every job I've ever like worked or whatever, it's just like, man, I just like, just like this, like, So that's where I'm at with employment. That's like why I've
you're starting to move that way,
career to career, because it's like, is this like different in
other
places? I don't
think there's anything wrong with that though.
Yeah,
you're just learning what you don't know what you want to do until you do it, and you're like, nah, this is not what I want to do.
Yeah,
I mean that's for me too. Like over thing after thing after thing, it's been that for me. And one of the things that's helped me is realizing who I am or the things that I like to do.
Yeah.
And then that just been applying my effort towards that, which it sounds like you're doing.
Yeah.
And you start to realize like, this is way better because this is what I'm good at. This is what I enjoy doing. Things like that.
Yeah.
But that takes reflection. That takes time to think about those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. It is. I don't know. I feel like the work. As we were talking, I'm kind of like realizing like, holy crap, like. I had a lot of weird, different like positions, like in careers, I guess, like just like really odd kind of experience. A lot of like, but yeah.
Well, I love that what you're talking about with your dad is that problem solving. Like that's so fundamental to a lot of things.
Yeah,
how do I solve this problem?
Yeah. And there's like something exciting about that. Like there's like really, if you like boil everything away, like what you're doing in life every day is just going problem to problem to try to find a better way to fix it.
Yeah, dousing one fire as another fire. And half the times you're the one who started all the fires.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
My boss says he's the fire starter and the fire fireman and the fire starter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's so basically rewind here. We two beers on an empty stomach. I'm like, oh, what are we? So do all that stuff. That's where a lot of automotive came from. So I basically was automotive. I did automotive like repair diagnostic for a combined of about 3.5 years.
Okay.
And loved that because I was doing it on my own. I was like, this is me. Like I'm free. Like I'm a free person. Like
would they come to the store and you would do all that stuff, or would you go? Okay, that's cool. And then you're just chilling until someone comes, and then you're
or finishing out the last project,
spending 4 hours on trying to figure out. Whatever. That's cool.
And I had to do a lot of like creative like. Was it time management?
Was it at a dealership?
No, it was at my dad's shop. He had an automotive lift, and I brought my toolbox for my last job there. So I just used the lift there. I had all of my tools. Like before I left the last job, I made sure I had everything I needed to be like totally
set up to do that.
Totally independent. Like I had like the software.
So at your last job, was that a dealership or no?
No, it was just at a small like tire shop.
Okay,
but it was like full service tire shop in Ligonier.
And so then you brought all that equipment here, and then you were just diagnosing stuff.
Yeah. So I basically what I did was like spent that like almost 3 years at that job, like collecting equipment and knowledge.
Yeah, skill.
And I was able to pay for like all the tools that I had, and then I left there like debt free. Like okay, cool. Like I can just go be self-employed now and do this because it was like I'll say right now, anyone trying to start a business that is just like I just want to be a free person, like go be an auto mechanic. Like literally go be an auto mechanic because everybody has a car and it always needs fixed.
And it's so tough. Mm-hmm. Like it's so tough.
Yeah.
I have a guy who, do you know Ian over there? I don't know if you know Ian. He is a homie.
Ian, what's his last name?
Roberts Auto.
Oh, maybe I don't. Anyways,
he's a homie, and so but he's so busy because you're good auto mechanic.
Yeah,
it's hard to find, and then everyone wants to use them. You know what I mean? And so then
and it's exactly that. It was exactly that. But it was nice to just be like, I was like, man, I just like make the schedule and I can do whatever I want. And I was like, this is the greatest thing. But eventually, like, I started like cringing, like when my hands would get like really like I always was very clean. Like I don't like to get dirty. I feel like a dirty auto mechanic is just like a messy, bad auto mechanic. It's like you gotta like put your gloves on, man. Like don't you're touching someone's car. Like just car comes out like greasy like fingerprints and stuff. It's like ugh.
Yeah.
But it was just like so like day after day. It's like okay, cool. We're gonna like this oil's gonna come ripping out of here. This transmission fluid's gonna come ripping out of here. This brake fluid, coolant, whatever. And it's like I got so fed up with all that stuff being on my skin all the time.
Really? Okay.
And just like developed a really scary intolerance for it. Like not physically, but just like it disgusted me. Like, I was like, oh god, I gotta.
Well, and if you're doing it all the time, I mean, you're always dirty.
Yeah, for like that 3.5 years, it's like, all right, and so.
When you went to your dad's shop, was it worse when you got to that point, or no?
No. It was fine. It was great.
At that point, it was a little bit better?
Yeah, it was definitely better. I think I also, so like, in combination with that, and, because I do this weird thing where, like, when I get frustrated at something, I find, like, the weirdest fuel in that situation to, like, move me somewhere else.
Okay.
And that was just one of those things. I was like, I'm tired of being dirty. Like, I'm tired of this. Like, it just drove me nuts eventually. You're like, everything I've ever done professionally since I got out of high school, I've been getting my hands filthy, nasty, dirty,
and I'm like, done doing this.
Being in weird positions. I was like, so I'm done. Like, I don't ever want to do this again.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. That's not a bad thing to realize, though.
Yeah. But all of it's still valuable and still like a useful skill.
Well, and you have all those skills.
Exactly.
So when it ever comes to you, like, I can fix this. I can figure out how to fix this.
Exactly.
Which is cool. And that I think for me, in my life, what I found out is every job I've done, in one way or another, has rolled into, and I've done dirty jobs, but it's like this now because I know these skills from the last job, and they trail with you, like like definitely. just some core stuff too, like okay, I go here and I do this, and this is how I do it, what I mean, and just knocking it out, and then there's even technical skills and stuff like that. It just all rolls with it,
definitely, and I think that's fun. I've had fun. It's like I didn't really, I don't know, like I didn't ever do like higher education really, like.
Don't. It's not worth it.
Yeah. I mean,
unless it's like very specific, like you want to be a doctor, right? Or you want to be an accountant. Sure, but I don't even think you should go for accounting, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I understand accounting, but like it's really there's some stuff that But
well, just like the internet, like the sensationalism. Yeah. Sensationalism.
Yeah, the sensationalism. I feel you. 2 beers, but it's the Busch Light, man. It's the Busch Light.
Just with information being everywhere, it's like you literally
YouTube, dude, 100%.
Something in an afternoon. Like if you how to fix my 2003 Honda Civic, like you'll figure it out. Like you can figure anything out these days, like literally anything. So I don't know. It feels like that's a cool thing that I feel like our generation or people now have in their toolbox. It's like, I hate doing this. How to do something else?
It's 100%. I've learned so much from that.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much available there for us to like learn from too. Yeah. It's whatever you want to learn in a way. Yeah. That's So my question is like, so are you still just focused in on your videos for like automotive, or is it opened up to other things as well?
No, we do corporate video. I
have you found that it's in that niche though?
Yeah.
Like, are your videos primarily in that niche, or are you starting to see in other markets?
Other markets too.
As well.
So I work with obviously a lot of like 3 automotive shops, and then we work with
in this area.
Yeah. Near Osceola.
Okay.
Area.
Yeah.
And then
in the one in Warsaw too, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So that
I'm sorry.
that guy.
I'm asking you so many questions.
No, you're good.
But this is fascinating, bro.
That guy. That was like he told us like so this. If anyone's listening confused, we're referencing the guy that hired us over and over at the beginning. He like had a conversation with her early on, and he's like, I can afford you right now, but I'm very confident that sooner than later, I'm not going to be able to afford you anymore. And we were like, all right, you're like, well, I don't know, man. We're just doing this, right? And then I got what he meant. We basically, we kind of had like that mutual agreement, like, oh, okay, this is too much work for the money. And he's like, yep, that's fine.
He knew it though. He knew it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
but that's such a good starter though.
Oh, dude, yeah, because we were able to like just go shoot day after day, bank a bunch of content, and like be able to just practice, right? Like, and still, I look back at some of those, and I'm like, man, like, that was still great. Like, I'm still glad I did that. Like, that was a great experience.
Now you know what your worth and your skill is at, right? You're like, I would probably not.
Yeah, and he like introduced us to some people, and so we got to meet a lot of diverse people, and one that's still a client that he restores like super old
cool
trucks, like he, or not even restores always, like sometimes he just buys these like super original like Scouts or old Jeeps, cool. And so he's still a great client, and So it's like, you know, like you're saying, like everything rolls into the next thing. That was one of those things. It's like we've taken some stuff with us. We learned lessons and met some cool people, and people still work with us. But yeah, automotive. But we do corporate video too. So I work with Jayco.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I work with.
I've seen you've been tweeting a little bit, like I never
those
thought
guys,
you worked for an RV company. I've seen some tweets like that. Like that's cool.
I feel like that was an interesting experience, like because like getting hired by such a large place, there's like all this like paperwork and like
corporate.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, what are you doing? Like
you have to talk to 12 people just to do one thing.
Like there's like one person I communicate with for like technical assistance. There's one person I communicate for like brand image and like just like making proofs, and then there's another guy, the pay guy, the guy I talk to about money. You know, so it's like there's these 3 different people, and it's like, I mean, it's not bad. You know, I don't hate it.
Right? No,
they've been great.
It's just different.
Yeah,
because usually you're probably working with 1 or 2 people.
Yeah,
you know I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
What? So I'm not a super huge car guy. I know the difference between cars and trucks.
Yeah,
that's about
it. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's all you really need to know. That one looks cool. That one does.
But my old roommate Lincoln, who I've talked about, he huge into cars.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He just got into automotive like right before COVID. Okay. Or, I'm sorry, got into RVs right before COVID.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And one thing he's told me is just how similar in a way they're different.
Sure.
They're totally different, but they're both vehicles in a way, or sometimes they aren't if you pull them along. But you get chassis from Ford, you get things like that. And that, I found that really interesting because a lot of things that he was way into with automotives, he's found in RVs as well. He's like, he knows more about the RV because he's like wrapped because he's dove so deep into the car world.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I found that really interesting. So I don't know if you've
they
seen
definitely.
that too.
Oh yeah, they go together. I mean, it's
they're
like,
different, right? They're a hybrid. They got their own thing.
Yeah. But, well, and there's like it's like if you took a house, like literally, actually a house and a car together. I mean. Because there's 120 volt power, sometimes there's 220 volt power, and then there's 12 volt like from the car. So it's like there's actually a small house on the back. You plug it in or run a generator or something. Yeah. So yeah, they go together. They go together.
Yeah.
It's portraying the same image too. Like really, like
the way you market it.
Yeah. It's for the most part. I edit a lot of product videos for them, so they're kind of like dry, like
this is what it is.
And I guess I mean really,
so you're not filming or anything, you're just editing. Okay,
so
that's not bad.
We have we're kind of talking about like we're working on a contract for actually April. Like one of my things I need to do is like send an email to them. They have a huge influx of like something to do with supply this, that, and model year changes, something or other. Like they're totally shifting the way they do their content. Yeah. And so it sounds like I'm a part of that now. Like they want to have me come there and work. They have like a 3D like scanner, like a Matterport. I don't know if you're familiar with those. No. I'm not super familiar. I know people in CAD and stuff use it, but it's like some sort of 3D image generator that like you like run through and it captures the whole inside.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So there's need to like run that thing and film some other stuff. So that's gonna be something I'll be doing out there. And I'm like here's you want to hear my life's dilemma? This is my life's dilemma right here.
That's interesting though. Yeah, I'd love to hear this.
My life's dilemma at this point in time, and I'd love to listen to this in like 2 years or something and laugh about this, but. It's a document for that. Yeah, so it is. 2 years from now, you can listen to this. I will, and I'm going to.
Yeah. We're going to call this the life's dilemma, so that when you go and look...
Perfect. Right, I love it. I love that idea.
Go for it.
Basically, in my full-time job right now, between that and working for myself, and so, I mean, I am not the only one working on my projects either. Like,
okay. That's a collaborative.
Yes, I have. Tyrus helps me a lot, so he'll edit, and so there's been days he'll go out and shoot. I just give him. I have all of my equipment in like a really tidy thing where I just shove it off and give it to him. It's all insured, so like nothing bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So that's really nice, but I'm like within a few conversations of basically being full time, like doing that full
with the video stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm hesitant to have those conversations because my full-time, workplace
Right.
is
And
like,
they brought you in because of the fabrication
Yes.
experience,
Yes.
and it sounds like you've got a really nice little kick there.
yes, it is a nice gig. It's very stressful to me. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
It really is very stressful to me. I love it,
Yeah.
but it's kicking my ass. And my life's dilemma right now is to figure out how to condense, like, what they need someone to do. Like, so to come up with a process and a good way to do a thing, right? And then get out of there. And not leave anything.
Solve the problem for them.
Yes, not leave any
then
rock
roll.
unturned.
Okay, I see.
I want, because
Is the problem?
I feel a moral obligation.
Yeah.
Like, this is my hometown. These are people that are
They're
making
good
the coolest thing in
people.
Indiana, in my hometown.
They're good people.
And they asked me to do something.
Yeah.
And I want to fulfill that,
And it would be it sounds like things are crazy there. And then if you did just leave or leave within, like, let's say you gave like a 2-week notice or whatever, it would hamper what's happening there too.
Indefinitely.
I feel like that's what I hear.
Yes.
Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah. And I do not
Is the
want
problem
to do that.
solvable? Like,
Yes.
is it?
Yes,
can
it
you
is.
condense it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely possible. We're
You're
rolling. We're
Yeah.
going that way. But that is my life's dilemma right now.
I know.
Like
That's
right
not
now,
bad.
it's not right. And
Yeah.
But
I will say there are companies, I don't know, like Peloton. Are you familiar with Peloton? Did you hear what happened with them where they had to fire like 28,000 or 22,800 employees, and they did it in $1,000 or 1,000 people batches on Zoom? Did you hear about that?
no.
No, that just happened like 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
What?
Peloton. We can watch it, but they fire like thousands of people on Zoom. It was like this viral thing because this lady's like, "What? Are you effing kidding me?" And the guy's like, "It was really bad. It was, but yeah, but they grew so fast, and then they couldn't maintain it.
I see.
And that happens a lot.
Need for all of those
And
people
that
on
happens a lot with a
Yeah.
lot of different. You go through these cycles. It's a boom and bust cycle, right?
Yeah.
And so the Peloton thing was crazy because we had never really seen someone fire 900 employees via Zoom. It was the first in human history, and so
That's crazy because
And
they needed to get rid of them fast.
yeah,
Like,
they
this
went
has to
public.
happen soon.
They went public too, so there was something like that. But I think they grew way too fast, and then you see that with companies they grow way too fast, and then they can't keep that structure. So so maybe the fact that you got 2 planes, right, and you're going down this way, and you're going down this way, and as you're edging off of the Janus stuff, your other stuff you can actually manage that. Maybe that will be what happens and plays out. Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know until it happens,
It's what you
right?
make
Because
it.
it could
It's
be
whatever I want it to be.
Maybe the best thing for you right now is to quit everything and just go 100%. I don't know.
No.
But I don't think
I don't want to do that.
You-
I feel like I
you
can't.
do
There's
that.
no way. There's no way I
Yeah,
cannot
you
do
can't-
that to
if
people.
you have like a feeling about that, trust your gut, dude. That's 100%.
Yeah, I felt like that. There's been times where I feel like that, like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want to do.
Right.
That is not. That's
well,
not
it
something.
sounds like exactly when that point meets too. Like you've had too much oil hit your hand. You're done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not there. It doesn't sound like you're there.
Right. Yeah. Not quite.
That is a tough dilemma, man.
Yeah. Being surrounded there with so many great people, like it would be impossible without that. Or like, it's just that thing you do when you just get frustrated. Like we're all doing a hard thing.
Yeah.
And then I just it's overwhelming, sometimes. And then like trying to keep up my stuff, it's like I run myself too ragged, I think, and don't give. Don't really give myself enough time.
Oh yeah, you gotta have some self-care, man. It's a marathon for sure, right? Something
I just want, it's like I'm hoping everything's right. I want everything to come together and like meet just right. But
to hit that bullseye on the bullseye. Yeah. That's so it sounds like you have other people also helping you out with the film stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got people that are they part of C?
Okay. So I mean.
That's cool.
Josh, aforementioned Josh. We've done
shout out to Josh.
Yeah, shout out to Josh.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the homie.
Yep, Josh.
You know it.
And he was like the first time I ever put someone on to like a payroll type of thing, and like we did so much work together. Like, and then it's like I got an opportunity at Janus. He got an opportunity at an engineering firm after he graduated school. So. Of course, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
And so, and then he got a house, he got married and everything, And so he's
Does
like
he still
navigating
help or
a
no?
vital. Yeah,
Okay.
he does. Yeah,
Right.
he's navigating a very vital part of his life.
Yeah.
And so we've had some distance to do that, but he came to a Lotus shoot that we did, and just like we talk all the time. It's just like, yeah, he's definitely going to be back like this summer because cars come out and we start doing a lot more. All of the car stuff happens in the summer, like mostly.
When it's nice out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's a car culture here in Goshen.
Oh yeah.
I've
a deep one.
It's interesting. I mean, you see them. I mean, for me as someone who's not a car guy, I think I view Goshen in a way that probably a lot of people do. In that aspect, I view it in different ways.
Yeah.
Depending on where you come from, but when it comes to cars. But I see them like they have rallies. They all roll up into the liquor store. You know what I mean? Or they'll go out to like the. I've seen even at the Essen House. Yep. There's just cars out there that's really nice. Yeah. They had them rallies. You see different things when we do the in July where they go around the block. The first Fridays where you'll start to see stuff that's like really interesting too. Yeah. But there's different levels of it, and then. Yeah, it's so diverse too.
It really is.
I love that as well.
Well, and there's like weird levels to it, right? Yeah. There's like that 60 to 90-year-old man that has a Corvette wearing like New Balances, and then there's like the same year group that like were socially different somehow, and they've got like classic cars. Excuse me. And then there's like the 16-year-old that like hacked a muffler off of his 2003 Honda Civic and like put some chrome like hubcaps on it.
It's got the pimped out Subaru.
Yeah, the pimped out Subaru. You name it. There's like so many, and then there's like the heavy hitters. There's like the like, whoa. And
then you got the trucks. Yeah. There's a whole truck industry too. Yep. That's like because there's a lot of people who haul and they want to have a truck that looks good too. You know what I mean?
Well, and some of it's like they don't even give a shit that it's a truck. They're like, this thing's big and expensive, and they're like, I want people to know that. Almost.
Yeah.
Like
I'm a roll call. I'm gonna let everyone know. I'm gonna pop out the truck with my mullet, and you know what's going down.
Yeah. It's
cool. It's okay. Like you do your thing.
Yeah,
man.
do your thing. Yeah, have your fun because it's like really.
Because I know when you drive by, it is expensive, and if you do have a gun in the cab. I know both those things.
I know both of those things. I understand. Yeah. But yeah, there's so many layers. There's lots of car stuff around here. Definitely just like we're so close to like Detroit. It's like this is like
that is the true
manufacturing, automotive like Midwest capital. Like there's like so much auto manufacturing.
That's a good point.
That's happening here. That's why it's so deep. It's like everybody's grandpa or like great grandpa was like, oh, they worked at the Studebaker factory. Oh, they had this car. Like everybody. It's such a.
There's so much. It's because of that industrial. That's so interesting. I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
That's so true though.
Yeah. The Studebaker plant was really probably like one of the biggest because that's like right in South Bend.
Yeah, that's right there. Yeah. Ford. I know my wife's grandpa worked at Ford, so there's always like you hit that right on the nail.
Everyone has like an uncle or a grandpa or
friends. I know people that work for GMC. And I know all those things.
Yep. Oh, the Hummer plant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And 100%. General. Mm-hmm. And General.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. There's so much. It's like so thick around here.
Yeah.
So everyone's just into cars, and it's great. I love it. Like I love the culture. Like at least some of it. I mean, I've had like 42 cars.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
what's all right? If it's okay, I have two questions.
Yeah.
What's the car that you've enjoyed the most of the ones that, or what's a car that like what's the car you've enjoyed the most out of the 42 that you've had, and then also what is your dream car?
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah. Let's see. The car I've enjoyed the most. So I've had a lot of cars from like just dirty shit boxes to like moderately nice, like customized. Like I've got two favorites, but for separate reasons.
Okay.
Totally separate reasons. So one of my favorites was a 1992 Subaru Legacy Outback that I bought off the road for $400.
Is that a wagon?
Yeah, it was a wagon.
Okay. All right. I'm picturing it.
I bought it
1992. Does it have wood paneling?
No, not wood paneling.
Okay.
Not wood paneling.
You're
thinking of like a Buick Roadmaster.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, they're those like big, long ones.
I know. I'm thinking Subaru. I'm thinking a wagon Subaru.
Yep.
I know what I'm thinking there.
Yep.
Is it like a...
Well, look up.
Okay, yeah, we should do that.
No, I think it was a 96. I might have said something else.
92?
Yeah, I think it might have been 96.
Okay.
Legacy Outback. So it was like the tall...
1996.
Mm-hmm. Legacy Outback.
Subaru.
total turd. Like, not a real, like,
yeah.
not a super looker.
They look like that now.
Yeah,
kind of a little bit, right?
yeah, pretty much.
I've seen this car before.
Yeah, so it was green.
Okay, let's look at the green. I'm gonna get out my work stuff.
I bought it off the side of the road, broken. There was a note on it that was like, "Hey, I'm gonna have this towed. I'm calling my mechanic." Called the guy.
Said I want it.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, what do you want for this?" He's like, "Oh man, I gotta call my mechanic. I think he's gonna look at it." And then I was like, "Okay, cool, dude. Let me know." 15 minutes later, he calls me back and he's like, "Yeah, I talked to my mechanic. Sounds like it's gonna be expensive. What do you want to pay for it?" And I was like, "Well, hold on. Like, what's the deal?" And he's like, "Well, I got the title. It's got 320,000 miles on it." And I was like, "Holy shit!"
Oh wow.
320,000 miles. I was like, "I don't care. Great, okay." It was manual, so that was like one thing. I saw it and I was like, "It's manual," and it was rust free. And I was like, "I'm in. I don't care. I don't care what's broken." So I gave him $400 for it, and then got the title like 3 weeks later. Like I was starting to get nervous because I thought
he scammed you.
Yeah. I thought I got scammed or something. But I got it, and then I threw a clutch in it because the clutch was bad.
Okay.
It wouldn't move. It would start and run, but it wouldn't move. So you have to pull the engine out to do that. So I pulled the engine out, put a clutch in, and like just did some other like odd and end maintenance. Put it back together, and then like got some really shitty coilovers for it. Slammed it. Like put a roof basket on it. Put some like 2014 Subaru WRX wheels on it. Like with snow tires that had studs in them.
Oh, okay.
And that shit was fucking unstoppable. You could not stop that car. I drove through like cornfields full of snow.
Oh, really?
Just eating through it. Like it was a tractor.
So it was just the clutch that was wrong with it?
It was just the clutch.
Okay.
I mean, it was like there were various other like.
No, that's a big thing. When the clutch goes out, it's not fun. Both my wife and I drive stick.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yep. My Ranger's manual too.
Is it really?
Yeah. My shitbox rule of thumb is, if you're gonna buy like an old junky car, like just get a manual one.
Okay.
Because it's a tractor and it'll probably never. You might have to put a clutch in it, but like, okay, it'll still work. Yeah. It'll still work.
Yeah.
So that's why I do that. But that was my favorite car because it was just reliable.
Yeah.
It like always started, always did what I needed to do, which was hilarious because it has so many miles. Like the transmission made so much noise. Like the gear, like you know how there's shifter bushings where it's supposed to stay in place.
Yes.
Like I could put it in any gear and like
just
like move it anywhere.
How do you know you're neutral? That's how I know I'm neutral.
It was all feel. Like that was my anti-theft. There's nobody that could drive that car other than someone that knew exactly where every gear was.
That's awesome, man. You do feel it. Like you really do feel. Oh, it's so. I love driving.
Yeah, you could have drove it, right?
Yeah.
Like within 5 minutes, you would have been like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but still, that's so funny because that's how I figure out where I'm in neutral. Like because some cars.
They're really tight, and you can't.
Or some of them are loose. I've driven a ton of different sections, but that's so funny.
So that was my favorite, just because it was like
it's
weird car.
A worker, man.
Yeah,
it is what it is. That's beautiful.
I love cars you can just beat on,
Yeah.
with absolutely no care in the world, and know that you can fix within like 30 minutes if something
the
breaks.
reliable one.
Yeah,
it just goes and it will always go.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
And then my second favorite car was. It was a 2011, I think, Volkswagen Golf.
Okay.
But it was the TDI.
Let's look at this one.
I'm sure anyone like moderately into cars, or even maybe not, like knows about the whole like TDI scandal thing.
Was that the mission stuff?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was one of those.
Okay,
it was the dirty car.
Where they were like lying about the emissions, kind of like
Yes.
this, and then they would have a chip that would turn on, turn off.
Yeah.
2011, what was it?
TDI Golf.
There
you go.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 It was silver. It looked exactly
like that.
Four-door
Okay.
and everything.
And they were doing the emissions thing.
Yeah, it was one of those.
I think that's so cool, though.
I know. I love it,
bro. That's so cool.
Oh, I love
it. Like the fact that they got away with that,
Yeah.
dude. Like they scammed him for a minute.
Uh-huh.
It was a perfect, beautiful scam.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I dig it.
And I think what a lot of people don't really realize about that, at least this is opinion here. Like, I think I know this. I'm pretty sure what happened. Like, the U.S. has such strict emission rules on a diesel that it's like near impossible. Because if you notice, like, we don't have in the United States a lot of small engine diesel vehicles.
No, we don't.
And anywhere else in the world, that's almost exclusive.
Yeah.
And so it's like super hard to get diesel to pass EPA. And so they were like, I don't know. Like, I'm just imagining, like, it really, like, wasn't like people are like, oh, it's a dirty diesel, it's polluted, but like it's not.
No,
like it's barely.
No, cows, they're fart.
Yeah,
and it's more stuff than that than the diesel, bro.
allegedly.
So like what can you do? You know what I mean? Or a volcano, when a volcano erupts, like that's not on me.
Yeah, I didn't.
And that destroys the carbon.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
You know, see, there's just so much other They made so little.
I don't know.
Let me have my engine, bro.
Yeah, but so basically, what happened with the car? I bought it from a dude in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
Drove there to get it, and then my plan was, so I put it on air ride, so I had like fully adjustable. I could just air it out, like lay frame, and then I cut out like a section of the frame to relieve for like the axle. So
you modded this?
Yeah, it was slammed. Like it, like the frame, it would lay frame on the concrete. Like when you back.
So all right, explain lay frame. So it was like on the ground, basically.
So air ride is like adjustable suspension, so you can like take air from an air tank and fill the bags and raise it up, or you can let it all out, and just the car will just sit as low as it possibly can because there's nothing supporting it.
Okay. So on frame. So how low is it?
It was like frame? on the there's like a cradle that holds the engine, which is technically part of the frame. It ties into the rest of the body.
Okay. Yeah.
And it would lay on that when you would like set it down.
Oh
like,
wow. Okay.
Like you didn't like if you're on a hill, you didn't need a parking brake. Like it would sled. And
it was there.
Yeah, I had like 3-piece wheels. This like they were like gold bolts, like they were actually 24 karat gold like plated bolts.
No, okay.
And they were like custom ordered wheels. Like I went like all out.
You balled hard on this.
I balled so hard on
the
that
silver 2011
Volkswagen.
Okay.
2.5 jobs to like be like basically full-time jobs, like because I was like I wanted to do that.
This will stick as well though, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was 6-speed.
Yeah.
And it was a diesel. It was back
lower. If it was a diesel, duh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I had
a roommate had a Jetta diesel.
Oh, yeah.
And so
cool.
They were
They're
cool.
So cool.
Yeah. He'd be like, look how far I can go. He'd go like 500 miles without having to fill up. I'm like, that's crazy.
And they're just they feel ridiculously powerful for a small engine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, okay. Like this is, I feel like you could like pull a trailer.
Yeah.
But
I could up a hill probably.
Yeah.
If I
seriously.
wanted to. Yeah.
Actually, my brother had a Jetta wagon.
You need another one?
Let's see where we at. All right, let's go. Okay. Let's do it. I'm gonna do another bush.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good call.
And he pulled a trailer all the way to like Massachusetts, I think.
Oh wow.
With motorcycles on it. Like,
oh wow.
Like and just people in the car like packed full. Like they're powerhouses. But yeah, I don't know. I threw a bunch of money and work into it, and then the whole scandal came out, and I was like,
did you sell it?
So get this, right? I bought the car for $8,200, which is like a good price. Yeah. It had high mileage. Like it wasn't. It was on the cheaper end of what you could get for those, and I put all this money and work into it, and then Volkswagen bought it for like $13,500.
Back from you?
Back from me.
Whoa.
And I was like, wait,
whoa.
What? Like, you guys fucked up. Like,
they got in trouble. Yeah, that's tough, dude.
Oh, man. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like,
they
man,
really
I didn't
had to pay for it then.
Yeah.
So are there 2011 full? Are those?
Yeah, they got like some sort of like fix. I don't know what they did to it.
But they had the option to buy back, so you just sold it?
Yeah, I just sold it.
Oh, why not?
Yeah, I was like...
That's an extra $5,000.
Yeah, and that was after, like, I had sold the wheels and sold the air ride out of it. Because, like, it was, like, it was that particular setup would fit, like, a lot of model years around it.
Yeah.
So, like, it was very versatile for someone to just buy. And I was like, okay, I put stock stuff back on it. Like, I literally sent it back to the dealership with, like, airlines dragging off of it. Like, still, like, I didn't even rip out all the airlines. I had, like, no trunk material left in it because I had like a wood trunk in there with the air tank. Yeah, I just stripped it and sent it back.
They had to. That's crazy.
It was nuts. Like I did like before I sent it back, I like did a bunch of donuts in it and stuff. I was like, yeah. And they just like basically like I got there and she's like, oh yeah, you're here for your drop off. She's like, okay, I just need to go snap a few pictures, and then like went out there, and then she's like, okay, here's your check, and I was like, oh,
wow.
What? Like okay,
wow.
It just the whole experience was like, oh, you guys. Like
got really
messed up. Like,
yeah. So that was what they're paying. Oh, they were just paying for that. They had the money, probably. That does suck. But it's so OG. I do like. I respect them for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like the most libertarian thing you could ever do.
Yeah. Would you say you're a libertarian?
Probably.
Oh yeah.
I don't associate very politically.
It's so tough to do it.
Yeah.
It is very libertarian. I love the idea of libertarian.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. You know what I
just
mean?
like basically just leave me alone, and like even taxes, right? Like that's cool. Just be fair, you know.
Yeah.
That's that.
I wish there was
like
like
roads and stuff.
I wish there was like a flat tax.
Yeah.
So we all knew, like, I'm doing my taxes this year.
Yeah.
I'm sure for you as a business owner too.
Yeah.
Or like a small business owner, it's not easy. Do you have an accountant to do that stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out the best girlfriend on earth, Brianna Bloom.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
Shout out to
she
Brianna.
is. She should be my wife, really.
Yeah.
Is what should be happening here. She takes care of most of the accounting and like
That's nice.
numbers and stuff because I that's not where my like. I think I ask myself often like, is this worth my time? Like, is this what I'm best at? Like,
Yeah.
and that is definitely
No.
not where I am best at. And not to say like, oh, I'm just gonna push this thing off on somebody. It's just like that is not what makes sense for me to using my like energy on. Like, so yeah.
Did she go to school for accounting?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
But she knows the bookkeeping pretty well then.
Yeah, and
That's
she's
cool.
sharp as a tack. Like nothing slides. Like
No,
nothing
that's
gets by
awesome.
her. She's very like
If you're like into that type of stuff, it works really well.
Yeah.
Like you can really knock it out.
Yeah.
Like you don't need an account, but it is.
she's just highly organized.
Yeah.
and
That's
like,
so helpful.
and like just straightforward.
Yeah.
Like if she's got a task, it's like that until it's done. Full bore. It's like a lot like a like a what do they call those? Like wood chipper. Like the idea goes in and it's just done. Like
A
job
vulture.
done.
Yeah, I feel that, yeah.
So she handles most of that because I think I would lose it. I think I would lose it because that like libertarian type of mindset. It's just like get out of my stuff.
Yeah.
Get out of my
It's
stuff.
so tough, dude. It is so tough. It's everything. And it's going to be more and more. That's the other part. It's like, I don't know if I just feel it encroaching in more and more in my life. Like the government, and they're wondering what you want to do, and things like that. I'm like, man, this is just like, I do kind of like, nah, screw you guys. I'm going to do it. Or even not even the government, big business. In a way, too. Like, they are in.
I felt that way about stimulus checks a little bit. I was like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, I obviously like
It's crazy
there wasn't
that
really an
happened.
option, but it was just like, what do you want back? Like, what where's the back end of this? Like, what does this look like in the future? I don't want that.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, I think we got royally screwed on that stuff. Probably.
I don't really know. Probably.
I don't know.
The coolest thing.
It was not enough. Oops. Like it was not enough to sell my soul.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It was like if I'm gonna sell my soul, which I'm not sure if we did, but we probably did. You know what I mean? We probably did, but it just feels like that was not enough for me to sell my soul. Like 1,400 and then or 600 later, like no, I feel
like,
that.
Can I keep my freedom?
Yeah,
though? Is that cool?
But I don't know what the consequences are, and I don't know if we'll see. Who knows?
We sure will.
Yeah. We'll see in our lifetime.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I try not like I try to be more like fascinated about like just like what we're doing.
Yeah.
Than like resentful because it's so easy to get like.
I feel like we're so tribal though. Like right now, it's just like you have to be on this.
bit.
But I think it's starting to break up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I hope so.
I don't know either. After the past couple of years, it's like
I don't know.
I don't care. I don't care anymore. Like I want to just be in my lane with like
Yeah.
the people I know, and that's all I need. If I got like good counsel and like the right people, I don't care. Like
I'll tell you, I like Goshen because it's a very diverse place. There's a lot of interesting things happening here.
Yeah.
There's unique opinions, and I don't think it is as like one-sided. I've met beautiful people on all sides of things, and it's really cool because we have like this like really conservative vibe, very liberal vibe, and all in between, and it allows you like it's like the two north and south pole are here.
You get like exposed to so much
and so like it's you can kind of believe whatever you want in a way. I like that. I do like that. And it's a community aspect. I do like. I think there's a lot of community here.
There really is. Yeah.
And like with the Amish, the fact that there's definitely if anything goes down, we know people who know how to do stuff. And then like lived off the lane for a minute. Like I'll go.
When I feel like when stuff goes sideways, like the Amish know that, and they're like, no, lock the doors. Lock the doors.
I know people. Like I'll go and I'll figure out what I can do to be a part of the community, get some horses, and just live my life. You know? How do I got like they at least they know like if compared to other places, there are probably places inside the United States that have no horses around them. It's like if stuff goes sideways, at least we have cattle horses. We can figure out how to make things happen. I don't
Yeah, or motorcycles.
Or motorcycles. Yeah, that's
definitely.
true too.
That's bug out vehicle of choice, definitely.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah.
We do. Yeah, we're in the area. We're in the area for like.
In fresh water, we have so much fresh water. That's the other thing that I thought about.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta think like all the 5 lakes.
Yeah.
That's all fresh water, and there's some of the largest lakes of like fresh. We are around an ocean of fresh water.
Yeah.
It's interesting because like you gotta think other places they don't have that as much.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even like out west, like if you live in like Arizona or something, like to get like a well drill is like a fucking job. Yeah. Like it's not like they send a little truck out and like oh there's your well. It's like they're like tunneling. Yeah. They're like days.
6 miles later. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And so that's very true. Yeah. Like I never really considered that, but yeah, the Great Lakes. I love the Great Lakes. Man, we were talking about libertarianism and now Great Lakes again. I recently experienced the Upper Peninsula for the first time.
I heard that's super libertarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that like a lot of people are just like they don't mess with me. We'll do whatever we want.
It's the best place. It's seriously like it is. It's like another country. It's like wait. This is
really?
You know how like everyone in Michigan think of it this way. Everyone in Michigan, every time you see their like little stickers with like the state, there's like the the mitten and then there's the little Upper Peninsula. Yeah. In the Upper Peninsula, they have the Upper Peninsula.
It's just all
they don't consider the rest to be Michigan.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. They're like
interesting. So when you're out there, they're like themselves.
Yeah.
It's out in the boonies. I was looking at land. Land's super cheap up there. And you can buy tons of acreage. Yeah.
Oh man. Huh.
And just like I don't know. I was looking at some of that stuff. Yeah. It's just so far away. Like
it's not though.
It's 6 hours, right?
That's not that far. I mean, in the grand scheme, like if you
that's true. That is very true.
The next place that's that remote is like way west.
That's true.
Like if you really or like maybe like Montana. Like Montana and that's more than 6 hours away.
Yeah, maybe.
And but
you're right.
That being
maybe
said,
Illinois. Illinois is pretty packed out too.
Yeah, it's about like Indiana. There's some places where you go where you're like it's scarce, but
maybe West Virginia.
Maybe
I'm trying like thinking like a now radius. You're right. I think you're right though.
Or maybe like
within 6 hours, you can't go to some place that's that remote within 6 hours.
Yeah, I mean I kind of made that up. Like
no,
100%. But I think I believe that.
Maybe some spots in Kentucky and Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I bet Kentucky. There's some hollers.
There's no place in Kentucky that says this is just us.
Yeah, that's
and Kentucky's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think your point's pretty valid.
Yeah. So
that's interesting. So you went up and visited.
Yeah. Okay. We have friends that have a cabin up there, and they just let us use it. Like they were like, yeah, go up there, have fun. And
was it like the summer or?
It was. What was the landmark? It was like near a holiday.
Because I've been up to
it was near Labor Day.
Labor Day. Okay.
Whenever that is, I don't know. I don't remember when Labor Day is exactly.
I've been up to like Mackinac Island. I've been like that close.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been super close. The bridge that goes across.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've been to there, but I've not gone across to like the Upper Peninsula.
You gotta do it.
Okay.
You gotta do it. We should actually. I'm ready to go back. We should go there and do a podcast.
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be down good.
It's like 40 acres.
Okay.
40 acres.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And there is just a cabin with no running water, and there's a well outside, but there's no running water. But it's very comfortable. Like the cabin.
The well, like, do you like
pull a spigot? It does the thing.
Yeah.
The whole nine. Like it's full.
You pump it up. That's not bad though.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And there's an outhouse, so there's not a toilet.
Okay.
But, oh man, like, you cannot hear anything up there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
There's no light pollution. So I was there. I wanted to go like.
So you can see. Oh, that's.
I'm beautiful. Like low level astrophotography, like really low level, and I really was like, I want to go.
Well, that NFT. I want to talk about that NFT because that was also like a moon and like a.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get there.
Okay. Sorry, but yeah. Because that rolls in line with that kind of astrophotography.
Yes, exactly.
100%.
And those were like composites I had taken from, like either at my house or sometimes I would like run to Topeka and there's like a park that like I'm cool with the neighbors. So like if you stay over there, like we're not take astro stuff there. And, but I like for 3 weeks before we went up there, I like plotted the like what way the house faced and like where the stars were gonna align at the time for like 3 weeks. Like I have like an app like projects like where shit's gonna be, and I was like, oh baby, like it's gonna line up to get the Milky Way like right behind the cabin, and so I did that, and that was like the highlight of the whole thing. But we got to see like Lake Superior, the pictured rocks and everything. And it was just like such a foreign feeling environment.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people there are so sovereign. It's like nothing in the world affects them. Like they're totally like we stopped at a bar there, right? Like we stopped at a bar that like if you stopped at here, if you looked at it here, you'd be like, oh, what? There's gonna be some hillbillies in there. There's probably some bar fights, like frequently, and like there's a lot of political banter in there. Yeah. Up there, different story. Everyone's in there. Hey, how's your mom doing? Hey, how's your it's like small, just like
small town.
I never heard like Donald Trump, Joe Biden.
Really?
I never heard any of those words. Any of that
like all chilling up there.
Bullshit. They were just chilling. They're like, yeah, I went fishing and we stopped here. It's like the local watering hole. Like we walked in and everyone was like,
who is that?
What you got on your shorts there? One of those. But it's super cool. Like people are just totally sovereign.
Yeah,
totally sovereign.
I think if you get closer to the like Upper Michigan, there's a lot of that too. There's a lot of that too. I've seen. My grandma has a cabin up near Cadillac City. I don't know if you know where that's at.
Is that like okay? Do the fun thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so it's like up here.
Okay.
It's like I would say an hour and a half from Mackinac.
Okay. Yeah.
City.
Yep.
And then there's the bridge that goes across. So.
Yep. That is really remote up there.
Yeah. And it's you see those vibes as you go up.
Yeah.
Anything past like in my opinion, anything past Grand Rapids gets kind of wild.
Yeah. Really?
Maybe a little, but it just feels like that.
I love Michigan. If I had to move somewhere, someone put a gun in my head and was like, move somewhere, I'd move to Michigan.
Yeah,
instantly.
That's a cool vibe there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of libertarian. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I think more of like just let me do my thing.
Yeah, I don't care what you're doing.
But then it gets to the point like, the third party system doesn't work. I wish it did work. I just don't know. I don't know. What I said when Trump won, I think back in 2016, all that matters is like your local government. That's really all that matters. And then in 2020 we saw that was a true thing there too. Like all that matters is really your local government. Like definitely. The people that you're hanging out, that's what talks about community. The people you're hanging out with in your area. Yeah. Like as long as they're all cool and you guys can all work together, that's all that really matters.
And it's so interesting seeing people get like wound up because they like are really sure that's not the case.
Yeah.
Like they're really sure that there's one person like making every decision in their life.
Yeah.
You're like, nah.
That one person that's making all that decision in your life is you.
Right.
Exactly. That's it. And like, as long as we can all vibe together. Yeah. It's so interesting.
It is wild. I don't know. People, I feel like it's almost like, I don't even like talking about, because everyone has this opinion about like other people or like how other people react to stuff or, other people get so crazy. Like, I'm just a crazy person.
It's okay to like. That's the beautiful thing is once you accept it, then it's okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I that's why like I've seen some of your tweets. I'm like, yeah, he is a little bit crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of the tweets that I tweet, I mean, sometimes they're like, but a lot of them are just like, I'm screaming into the abyss sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm a spiritual being having an experience.
I love Kanye, man. I love Kanye.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. He's so crazy.
Yeah, like just like grenade energy.
Yeah. Just walks in and explodes.
Yeah.
And just
confuses everyone. Yeah. I don't know.
I was thinking about it today. If Kanye would become president, like right now, if Kanye was president right now, like we would all be knowing that him and Kim are breaking up, like are going through stuff. Like it would be like on the text, but I'd be okay with that. You know what I mean? At least I know what's going on.
Yeah.
and
at least like someone.
I don't think we'd be in the situation we're at. We'd just be Kanye as our president.
And someone that has like better ideals of like what reality could look like. You know.
I think the office of presidency is ridiculous. Anyways, like we don't like. It's just like I don't know. It's what is it? How is one person governing 350 million people? Like, you can't.
Yeah.
It's not possible. It's definitely not possible. That's why I want Kanye as that.
Yeah.
Because it just is a big, like, screw just the whole system.
Shotgun blast into a dark room.
And at least we would know what's going on, and it's not like we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, they don't want us to know what's going on.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
I don't know, so.
No, that's definitely true. That's why Like, there's that part, like I mentioned or touched on earlier, it's like, I stopped trying to figure shit out. I
don't know what's going on.
I don't know what the hell's going on, man.
Yeah.
I'm fucking scared.
Did Will Smith hit Chris Rock? I don't know.
Who knows?
Nobody knows. No one knows.
Yeah.
No, it's not happening inside my community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So why does that even?
I yelled at somebody today for playing a Chris Rock something. I was like, stop. Like, who cares?
And then the crazy thing is, everyone has an opinion about it too.
Yeah, I know.
And then you have to listen to their opinion. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, you're like,
I don't know. Did you hear that there's these kids in Milford who...
Milford? In Milford, Indiana?
And they set up... So I saw this on Facebook.
Okay.
And so I feel like this is way more interesting than Chris Rock. But they set up a telephone, and it was like, you could call this number, and you would hear an encouraging message from a 5th grader. And
really?
that went viral. So people from France were calling, people from all different countries were calling this number. And
no kidding.
Yeah, and so you could you dial the number, and I think it's still up. You dial the number, and then you listen to a 5th grader, and that happened in Milford.
Oh wow!
And that's way cooler than someone punching someone.
Yeah, definitely. Violence or good feelings. Like, I like that better. That's
but that happened in Milford.
Wow.
Yeah, it just went viral. So I saw it on Facebook. I was like,
that's cool as hell.
You know what I mean? That's so.
That's Like, where are why don't the algorithms show more like that?
Yeah.
I want that.
It's because people don't really care about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
People don't comment when it's that type of stuff. They feel good. They look at it. They feel good.
Yeah. People aren't angry.
They enjoy it, but they don't angry it. And then Facebook's like, that doesn't count.
Nah, people aren't upset enough.
Yeah, let's throw another thing in your face.
The world's on fire. Yeah.
It's interesting, man.
It is. I feel like I've changed so much in the past 2 years. Just everyone has. Whether they wanted to or not. They've been smashed into a corner or put through a Play-Doh die. The little little squishy things to play with your kid. Everyone's just something different now because of their circumstance. Yeah. And I feel like the way that
we saw a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff was uncovered. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a bit of a veil of reality that was like the Truman Show, hey, we're watching you, bitch. Wait, what? Hold on, what was that? The government casually was like, oh yeah, aliens. We kind of
the aliens fell down. Yeah,
You're like, what? Stop! What the hell?
Yeah,
why
what is going on?
I don't really know that. I do, but.
Yeah, it's the COVID stuff, and what's interesting, what I do love about the United States is the fact that you can have a different culture inside each different state. Yeah. For instance, in 2012, when cannabis became legal in Colorado.
Yeah.
And I think recently, the Biden administration said that cannabis, or they pushed a bill that's going to be cannabis is decriminalized.
Oh, okay.
Nationally.
Oh, yeah.
Across the board, which is interesting, and that happened because Colorado in 2012 made the ability.
We're just gonna do this.
Yeah,
fight us.
And it just kind of it was a big push, and that's the one thing. And you see that with Florida right now, with them in Texas being so open with the COVID stuff. They're the norm. It's just as normal. Yeah. Half of America visited Florida last year. Half of America. One half of America visited Florida. 128 million Americans came to Florida and visited in 2021.
Wow, just because of alleged freedom or openness?
Because Americans had money and they wanted to do something. We're going to Disney World, man. Or whatever place in Florida. And they went. And it's just
thank God, too. That's it probably wasn't good for the situation, but man.
But did more people die of COVID in Florida in the past 2 years than what's happened here or anywhere else? No, that's the thing. You don't see people just falling down on the streets in Florida. I've not seen that footage. You know what I mean? And so until I see that footage, I feel like I'm okay to go to Florida. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know. The veil has been removed a little bit.
Yeah, Texas has had too, because Texas is kind of the same boat. All of a sudden, wasn't there kind of a big rush from
California.
Yeah.
I saw a number where 400, I don't know, a large amount, more than the other states that they went to, went to Texas because it was close.
Okay. And maybe similar climate.
That was their upper peninsula. California's upper peninsula was Texas. You know what I mean? They were fleeing. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I'm equating it to.
Yeah, right. They're whoa, you can do what here? You can own guns? You just have that?
Wait a second. You're not going to take half of my money?
Yeah.
You only take 25% or 35%? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and gas costs how much here?
Yeah.
You can just be alive here and just do things? I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only been to Texas like I think twice.
I've been there a couple times.
And I went to Houston once, and then
nice. I've been to Dallas multiple times. So that's where I've been. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I bet Dallas is crazy.
It's interesting.
Is it pretty
I almost got robbed in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was an experience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Huh. Like, I mean, wow. What was the circumstance? Like,
I went to McDonald's. Well, okay, so I met.
That's every story. I went to McDonald's. It starts here.
I was with a coworker, and we were out, and we were getting food, and then we're coming back to the hotel that we were at. And in Dallas, they have line bikes, and everything. We're downtown, so we're like, okay, we'll go downtown. And there's different like things you can do downtown. So we go. I think we get pho, like some like random pho place. And it's kind of like this hipstery downtown spot.
Yeah.
As we're coming back, there's this homeless dude. So we start talking to him. He's actually pretty chill. We got food with him. We talked to him for a while. And then, because we're heading back, but he was just started talking to us. And then he's like, hey, I need to get a bus somewhere. So my coworker's like, yeah, I'll go get you a bus fare. Get you $20 for it. Yeah. And the only ATM was in this McDonald's.
Oh, no.
So we go to this McDonald's. And that was the first mistake. The security guard comes up to me. And he says, what are you doing here? There was a security guard. There was 2 security guards in this McDonald's.
You knew this hustle?
So, no, I walked in, and I saw 2 security guards.
In the
McDonald's
security guard?
in the McDonald's.
Like, was it attached to something else, or was it just a McDonald's?
You go over a block, and it's just like open park. There's people watching stuff, and then you go into the next block, and then it's just very dark, and there's no one there, and it's all homeless people.
Oh yeah,
and there's a McDonald's next to like a Greyhound bus place, and there was no tourists. It was just us and all these homeless people, and it wasn't like that bad.
That reminds me of like Glove World from SpongeBob, when they get dropped off there, and it's like. Everything's just like totally foreign and dark. Like, wait, where are we?
Yeah, it was kind of like that a little bit. And we're in this McDonald's, and the security guard comes up to me. And he says, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "You're not. You shouldn't be here."
He's like, "I'm living life. What are you doing?"
I'm like the only white guy.
Oh, I see.
Maybe not white guy. Or,
and he just was like,
Well, I was wearing like all my like. I don't know. It was.
Fair enough.
I don't know what it
was.
He came up to me. Yeah, he asked me what I was doing there.
Yeah.
And told me to leave.
Wow.
Because he's like, this is probably not a place for you. Is what the security guard said to me.
Damn. He like recognized immediately.
At the McDonald's.
Wow.
And as I was leaving, I'm dipping. These guys were like up to me, and like at one point, one guy said like, "That's a nice watch you got there," and we just like started running.
Really? Whoa.
And we got on these line bikes and dipped.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. Yeah. And
he like that security guard was like, "That guy's not from around here."
Yeah, 100%.
I feel it somehow, some way.
He's like, I had a couple dudes come up to me and say, "Buy me can you buy me a sandwich?" And I just did not feel comfortable, but I still bought him a sandwich.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I get you some food, bro, but I got a dip." And I was the only guy. Like, it just
interesting.
It was not. It was like this was not my spot.
You were not welcome there.
Yeah, I was not welcome there. Yeah, it was definitely not. It was bad vibes. Security guards. The thing was, there were security guards in this like. I've just never been to McDonald's where there's security guards.
Yeah, no kidding.
2 with like guns and shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really? Like.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
On the wrong block in Dallas, and so we get there, and then our line bikes. We got a line bike. I'm trying to get on my line bike. So when I rode to this McDonald's, and I can't get the app open. Yeah.
Can you pedal a line bike?
Yeah. It's
so you could just skeet away with
no. You have to unlock it.
Oh, damn!
It was annoying. So
that's like every dream I've ever had. It's like,
like it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Like there was multiple. It was my coworker and I, so we were together. It wasn't that bad. It was just like definitely an intense situation in Dallas. Like we were definitely in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Wow.
But we had some good pho, and I got to experience that side of Dallas, which was interesting. I also
valuable experience.
Yeah, valuable experience. Yeah. I've had good experiences in Dallas as well.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Good barbecue spots and like spots.
Yeah.
That spot was interesting.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. There maybe have been other white guys. I wasn't really like looking at race. I was just trying to dip.
Yeah. You're just trying to like, I'm here myself.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a sovereign citizen.
Yeah. I'm a Texas fan. But the nice thing in Texas is everyone thinks you kind of maybe have a gun.
Oh yeah.
So like that helps too. But also, I'm thinking all these homeless people might have guns too.
Your guns have guns.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Huh.
That's the other thing. Yeah, Texas is like they're big
super
on that.
Gun heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I love guns. Guns are good. The way that I view firearms, at least, is not for violence, just for like, kind of like I view unions a little bit.
Yeah.
Just remember, like, government, like, we got rules too. You know, a little bit. That's kind of like...
You're messing with all of us.
Yeah, that's my loose perspective, you know? Like, we got rules too. Like, we like to have a word. You know, we like to have a say here.
We like to have representation. I don't know.
Yep.
I think that's such a real thing. Like, we need to be represented for who we are in our areas. And that's why, again, I think, like, local government is way more important than...
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? I could tell Joe Biden that I have a gun. He's not going to care.
Yeah. He's like, okay, cool. And, like, cool, dude. He's like you, that little kid that shows up with a toy, like, I have a gun. All right, cool. See you later.
But it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, it's more the area that you're in.
It definitely is, yeah. And I think that, like...
I'm not saying that to, like, but for anyone in my local vicinity, if they know I have a gun or things like that, it's a much more different thing.
Oh,
you know
I see. Yeah.
It's your protection.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, there's other people in my vicinity that have guns too.
Yeah.
Like, there's
guys shoot us.
Oh yeah, I mentioned the drive-by, but there was a drive-by that happened right across the street.
Okay. Let me orient myself here. On Indiana?
No, on 8th Street.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
August of last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pop.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild.
So if that's gonna be happening.
Yeah, stay strapped to get clapped, man. Stay strapped to get clapped.
I was like mentioning, like, yeah, Joe Biden doesn't know, but it's like you gotta let the people in the vicinity know. It's all about the community around you.
Yeah.
I mean? And so it's just like,
yeah, well, it's
that
like,
helps everything function.
Well, and also, like, who are the people that I would, like, bug out to a 10-acre plot in the Upper Peninsula with?
Yeah.
Like, who are those people? Like, what are you good at, man? What do you know how to do? Like, that's like, skills,
especially
skills,
like the fact that they got like nuclear bombs are in the picture with Russia.
Oh yeah,
it's like okay. I wish Kanye was president. Like, he'd be telling us at least what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, dude. At least we would know what's going on. Everyone would be looking at the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying? We would know, like, what's happening. No one knows what's happening, but there's big stakes on the line.
I think it's scary because I feel like there's enough nuclear power on the planet to, like, split the Earth into two pieces. Like, legitimately, like...
destroy whole cities.
Cities, like, I mean...
Yeah, like, counties. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, like, okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like, we don't want to be doing that, man. That was a big mistake in history. Yeah. There's, like, probably some intelligent literature that talks about, like, the point in history when, like, we realized that it was either like it was like stay strapped or get clapped. Like, that was the mentality with nukes. So, like, oh, you got them, I gotta have them. Like, mutually. That's why submarines are submarines.
I don't think that's a thing anymore, though. I've heard that mutually assured destruction. I heard that's not a thing anymore.
You don't think?
I think there's weapons there that go so fast that, like, you can't mutually share. Yeah,
just lights out.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro. They're aliens. I mean, like, this is the world we're living in. We have AI talking to us. You know what I mean? Like, there's, it's just like,
Oh man, that
is crazy.
Yeah, it's a time to be alive. Just have it. Like, it's just like a wild experience. Like, one thing after another. You're like, like, last year's like, oh, this disease is gonna kill you, and then it's like, actually, bombs are gonna kill you. Bombs. That's what's gonna hurt you now.
Yeah, that's the real stuff, actually.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
it's like, it's such a terrifying. It really is just legitimately a terrifying time to be alive.
Is it? I don't even know. I'm not paying attention.
I mean,
I know some of that stuff's happening, but, like, do I know what the threat of it is? And, like, what can you do? Because it's always going to be like that too.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not COVID, if it's not this, it's always an imminent disaster. It's going to be climate change. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. There's always going to be something that's
unless everyone just, like, took their shoes off and just, like, walked through grass and, like,
just chilled
out for, like, 3 weeks. Like, if everyone just had 3 weeks to do whatever they wanted to do.
I think that's possible.
Yeah.
I think it's possible to, like, be low stress. I think it's possible to allow people to just, like, chill, like, just be cool with each other. I think it's possible to allow other people to do what they want to do. You know what I mean?
Do you know who Peter Kalmus is?
No clue.
He's Climate Human on Twitter. He did a podcast with Duncan Trussell.
Okay.
Do you know Duncan Trussell?
Do you know Duncan Trussell?
Okay. Yeah. He did a couple episodes. The most recent episode, I feel like, restored my faith a little bit in humanity because they were talking about the movie Don't Look Up and how... Have you seen it? Okay. It's kind of a satirical film about the last 2 years in America.
Okay.
And the thing in that, instead of like an imminent disease or whatever, is a meteor going to hit the Earth.
Oh, interesting.
And so it kind of, there's like all this irony that happens throughout there. Like people get super polarized, and like one group's like, just look up, you can see it. And the other one's like, don't look up. It's like same like
wow, okay.
total like just
okay.
bloodbath shit show type of experience.
What we're seeing kind of already right now. It was a satirical part of that. Yeah, don't do this, do this, don't do this. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And so they were talking about that film and how like Duncan had this like really like an attitude at one point I shared, like this really like dark view of reality. Like everyone is melting into liquid, their brains are coming out their ears, they are losing it completely, and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And Peter on his first episode kind of felt like he shared this like alarmist type of mentality about humanity as well. And this time he came on and he like convinced Duncan that like humanity was worth saving, and that like people really were good. And not necessarily convinced, but he just had a lot of really solid points, like a lot of like solid optimism. And I heard that and I was like, man, yeah, like I need to feel that way about.
He's right on that, because have you heard of you've heard of blue pill, red pill?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people can conflate that to like politics in a way. Mm-hmm. But have you heard of white pill, black pill?
No.
So, and this is just a theory. Have you ever heard of Michael Malice?
No.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
So, but white pill, black pill is it's another theory on kind of like there's two options. Okay. So, with the red pill, blue pill, red pill is you like, okay, red pill is you wake up, you see what's actually happening right now. Blue pill is you stay in the state of mind that you're at. Mm-hmm. White pill, black pill is bad things are happening, and it's only going to get worse. Mm. Bad things are happening, but it's going to get better.
I see.
And that's kind of the difference between the two.
Kind of a yin yang type situation.
Yeah.
Like, but instead of viewing both, putting your like all of your eggs in one basket, like just grabbing onto either this is gonna be good or we're gonna die type thing.
It's kind of like a philosophy in a way. Like you look at things like with the white pill, things are gonna get bad, but eventually they're gonna get better.
Yeah.
With the black pill, it's like things are bad and they're only gonna get worse. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah.
And so for me, like for how I see white pill is like, maybe nukes are gonna happen, or maybe COVID. Like for COVID, the white pill situation is it's gonna be bad. But the best thing is, and there could be a lot of different things. I think for white pill, a lot of people are waking up, realizing what's going on.
Yeah.
Also, another part of that is like a lot of people died, but not a ton of people died. Mm-hmm. I mean, it didn't wipe out most of the population.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, like humans are still thriving. We're still killing people, so that's good.
Land value's gone up.
Yeah.
There's still probably more humans being made than humans being.
Well, we have enough like humans to have a war too, so like
we have a lot of.
That's still good.
We got a lot of humans right now. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if that's like that thought too. Like, there are. Like, it is nice to know that we're like. I mean, we've survived to this point.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Things are bad have happened. If you look at history, it's like bad thing after bad thing after bad thing.
Have you ever heard of the fourth turning?
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah. I started reading it, but
I watched one 20-minute video on YouTube about it. So
okay,
that's about
was it Van Nystadt's video?
Possibly. Did he talk about the end, like building playgrounds?
Yeah, did he have like
kids?
the roll of paper where he like sketched?
Yeah,
on
probably. Yeah,
that was it. Okay, that's Van Neistat. Okay. I love that guy. He's like Casey. You know Casey Neistat?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
yeah.
They're brothers, obviously.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And they like in the early, I don't know, like. I feel like the early 90s, they like kind of invented vlogging, mostly on accident. Like it wasn't in there. There's a documentary about it. At the time, they weren't really like. It was like, this is just easier. Like I don't have to have someone like hold a camera. I can just do this, and kind of accidentally invented that concept. So Casey went on. Obviously, he's a pretty wildly known vlogger.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, and really creative mind, just like interesting guy. Well, his brother Van. Is a filmmaker that worked with like Tom Sachs and I cannot remember the other guy's name. Just look him up on YouTube if you're interested. But his brother did a video about the fourth turning.
That's interesting.
And I really like. He's got a really really cool perspective on life.
Yeah.
And he's just done some really incredible stuff that like. he it's not a ego thing to him. It's just like, yeah, I did this and I learned this from it. Like,
yeah, it's an 80 year blocks, right? And then every 20 years,
like
or is it 20 years? And then there's like 4 different.
It's either like 20,
the
40,
hero, the poet, the something
Yeah.
to something. I forget what the other 2 are.
The moral of the story was that we're headed into a 4th turning that is supposed to be like a pretty wild time of enlightenment and like self-realization, or just like actual
I think
something changing for like
I
the
think
good.
Spiritual awakening. I think that's happening right now.
Oh yeah,
I really do feel like
well,
that.
people
I feel like
have had to face their mortality so many times, like so like it's like whether they believed it or not, right? Like it was like, oh, there's this disease and this is gonna kill you if you fucking get it. This is gonna fucking kill you stone dead.
Yeah.
You know, type of like, oh my god, there's this like sensational freak out, and so they had to like face like, oh, I could die. This could be it. Like this is the end. This could be the end. And I feel like anytime you do that, you have to get better, because you're like, oh, I could die. Well, what can I do to be better today? Like people have had kind of that like. Yeah,
I think that's so true, and I think the world of maybe this is something that I've realized, but the world was at one point in my worldview, the black and white things were like, this is how it was set up.
Yeah.
And a lot of that framework is being destroyed.
Yeah.
You know, and so, yeah, and I think like I've said this. I think there's like the world, how I feel like it's just built together with magic. Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And I felt like in my life, you're not supposed to think those thoughts because everything's been figured out. But there's a lot of stuff I don't understand. You know, I call all that stuff magic.
Yeah, I mean, basically,
like in a way, it's just like, I mean, you could probably figure some of it out. I don't think you figure every single thing out. Everything, like you can't figure everything out. That's where I'm at, and so
that's another frustration in modern day is
we have a lot of knowledge, but there's a lot of stuff I don't understand.
Yeah, well, but the fact that like so many people want to approach something like data driven.
Yeah,
like has to be data driven. Like I need data points. I need a graph. I need a bar graph. I need like all these like tests. I need run that 3 times. Is that peer reviewed? Like everything has to be that way, right? Before,
but you can't trust it because we just went through all that. You can't really trust
we see
it.
the downside of that. Like people are relying less on common sense and more just on
100%.
strict data points.
Yeah,
and you cannot design every study to be like totally transparent. Like so.
But we also have we're starting to live in a world where it's okay to be whatever you want to be, and part of that is like maybe I want to not look at data points and just go with how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people kind of have to be okay with that.
Yeah. And people are kind of scared of that.
Yeah, people are way scared of that.
Way scared of just like.
And I feel like that's starting to happen because people are just breaking loose all over the place. In a way, dude. There's a lot of spiritual activity happening all over the place, I feel like. All over the place. And it's cool. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And people are waking up to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's also like, because I feel like the world was these data points, got our lives, this is how it's going to be, and that's all shaken.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
in a way, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe other people don't agree with that, and that's okay. You can feel that way.
Yeah, they absolutely can. You absolutely can feel that way, but I feel like it's a, I don't know, almost like a core truth. Like you're here to not know what you're doing. Yeah. You're here to not know what the hell you're doing. Like,
there's no way we know what we're doing.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like what's that book? Be Here Now. The like it's that. Who did? Oh, I cannot think of the guy's name. Duncan Trussell worked with him. Like,
Duncan Trussell's so great.
Yeah.
I love it, and I'm so mad that I forget his show. But the one that came out on Netflix, I watched that twice.
Midnight Gospel.
Yeah, Midnight Gospel. I watched that twice. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful, and I've loved listening to different podcasts of him too. He's very it's a beautiful human being.
Yeah, I don't know. We can tangentially put this in the podcast or not, but I mean, have you ever use psychedelics or anything?
Not to the level that I think I've had psychedelic experiences.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But not chemically induced.
Not
anything
chemically
from the outside.
Yeah, I've never done like acid or I've never done any of the other the stuff they smoke. I forget what it is. What DMT.
DMT. Yeah.
Hallucinogenics like that. So I haven't really ever done anything at that level. But I would say there has been experiences where I've felt, I think, similar psychedelic experiences.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also, it's interesting because, like, I think from what I've heard, there's ways to experience like I've seen patterns in things, I've seen visuals, I've seen stuff like that. Yeah. That I think that other people who have done psychedelics have probably felt or experienced.
Yeah, there's like there's a form of breathing. I don't know what.
Yeah, meditation.
Yeah, meditation.
Prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I think there's ways to get to that, but it's also a way of thinking too. Definitely. It's all like a way of thinking. It's an inward scope of stuff. I feel like.
Yeah. I think it, like, in my opinion, right, like whether it's psychedelically induced or naturally induced, I personally, it's like my own philosophy that it's maybe not the same, but you're channeling a similar or maybe identical area in your psyche. Yeah, that's
so I feel like psychedelics, my opinion on psychedelics is, I'm a little worrisome, a little bit, right? Not that I'm opposed to psychedelics. I would say I'm not opposed to psychedelics, but I think it's a portal to the spiritual world. I really do. I think it's like just a boom right into the spiritual world. And people like microdose. Yeah. I'm familiar with like microdosing and what those effects do to you as well, like how that affects people. And so, like, I don't know, but I see like it helps people in some ways. It also like elevates different ways of the mind, the way and like they've seen like psychedelics on scans and stuff on the brain. Activity is interesting as well. So I don't know. Yeah. But it's a portal to the spiritual world. And the way I would like to get to the spiritual world is naturally. Yeah, I'd be a little bit safer because you can get thrust into things that it's just
honestly, I respect the hell out of that. Yeah. Like that is amazing.
That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. Not in the future, that may change.
That's
where I'm at right now, man. Because I have nothing against people who do mushrooms at all or acid or anything like that. And I think to me, I think they're a different category of drug as well. You know what I mean? And I've heard even people who take edibles experience like and that's marijuana. And I don't know. It's not, to me.
I would never.
Drugs as a whole concept to me is like, I don't know, why are we? That's more of a libertarian view. Is why are we? Like, it hurts people. Yeah. And then you got like meth and stuff too, and crack and stuff too. So like I see that
well, if you have like people are like, oh, like
addictive personality.
These things aren't addictive. Like, nah, that's not true.
But then they say like video games are the same as cocaine, sugar is the same as cocaine. You know what I mean? And so now they're making a good, like, viable, like, hey, these things are good. I love video games and sugar. Maybe I'll love cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you telling me? So like, not that I've never done cocaine. That's not something that I'm interested in because I love sugar and video games.
I don't want to turn that into a more expensive way to feel that way.
Those are both expensive and enjoyable right now, and I feel like absolutely awful after doing too much of it. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know.
I don't need to add a mental, like a substance abuse problem into your life. Yeah, definitely.
But when it comes to psychedelics, but I'm sure I think it's a more common thing now than it's that. Then I think with the fact that like marijuana is so prevalent and relevant and something you can talk about now, I think psychedelics are something that can become talked about right now. A lot of people are talking about it, and I think that is a portal into the spiritual world. I don't know. Have you ever had a psychedelic experience? Do you want to talk about it? I don't. But do you think it's a portal into the spiritual world? Yeah. In a way, could you see that, or maybe not? I don't know.
Definitely, 100%. I believe that. It's a personal philosophy. Obviously, I don't have like I don't have a case study to prove anything to anyone, of course. But I believe it is. Yeah. I definitely believe it is.
I've heard stories like you see different things, you see visuals, you see different things, you like the way your mind it goes after the ego. It's trying to there's like you start thinking about different things. I've seen like videos on it. So
I'll just chalk it up to maybe we can talk more in depth in the pod or after. But I've had experiences, quite a few experiences, and dude. A lot of people have like spiritual experiences in that as well, and it changes their life a little bit too. Yeah, totally. I felt like a pancake. Like one side was cooked and we flipped over to a fresh side. It was like what? Like, where are we at today? And thankfully, it was something. I mean, all of the experiences I was able to have were very safe. It was not a dangerous environment. Yeah, it was a controlled environment with people I can trust and like good counsel. And so I've allotted myself a few like pretty powerful, like scary, I guess, more than anything scary. Actually, I shouldn't even say powerful. I should say more scary experiences that totally completely felt like unwound years of just confusion and trauma in a way, and weaved it into a healthy fuel for like personal freedom. I guess if I could summarize it
unlocking
quickly.
A way of thinking.
Unlocking something that exactly, unlocking a way of thinking that I was never naturally exposed to.
Leveled up, maybe.
Interesting. Because I mean, I grew up, I guess, religious and stuff. I mean, we went to like a Methodist church. I mean, it was just like, it was whatever. It was never super pushed, but I don't know. I never got it. I never got into it. I didn't understand it. And
sometimes it's a lot of religion.
And I say the first time I've ever been to church was when the first time I had like, I was around 150 micrograms of LSD. I'd say that's the first time I've ever been to church in my life.
Yeah, so that's what like pushed you into.
Yeah, that was the first time I understood what it was to be like connected to something that was more than just like myself or my own like whatever, you know. And so that. But also at the same time, I never tell people like, oh, you should do psychedelics, because I would actually advise against it. Like if you're like, if you're at a good spot in your life and you feel good about yourself and you feel like you're improving or like taking yourself seriously, I'd say don't even worry. Like you already know everything you need to know. You know everything you need to know. That's the way I view it. You know.
Yeah. If I was to do it, you have to do it. A good spot probably. I feel like.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. We can talk more about that later. I have stories.
That's interesting. Yeah. I feel that though. Like I feel that. That's really cool. I definitely, there is like something. So I was watching this. I watched a YouTube video of a high schooler explaining the fourth dimension. And I thought it was a really good representation of probably what like a spiritual realm is. Like I feel like the fourth dimension is a spiritual realm.
Maybe
that's what the fourth turning is. You know what I mean?
Oh sure,
Who knows? I don't know. No, I'm just saying now that the 4 is in there. I'll throw the 4 number in there. Force. We're still on the Subaru thing. Okay, we've been here. Okay. I thought we were, but yeah. So I think he was talking about just interesting things, just like how we view things in 2D. We can see things in 2D. How we look at things, like the fourth dimension looks at those things, but then it's like even expanded. It's looking through layers of things that we can't even understand. It was crazy. It really like made sense at that point. It was like whoa, like the probably spiritual world around us is looking at us, but looking at layers of things that we don't even understand that's in us.
Or like forms of like either communication or energy that like
we are not aware of. It's in us and it's a part of us, but we're not aware of it.
It's like ham radio, like is a perfect example. Like you have like a high frequency band or an ultra low frequency band. Like there's all this stuff happening at one time, but in a totally like in an inverted like. There's these long waves that do something totally different, and there's tight waves that do something totally separate. It's kind of like...
Interesting.
Reality is as such. And here we are drinking beers in a basement.
On a Friday night. Man.
Reality has a lot of dust in that.
No, that's good. That's Twitter. Brought us together. It's the algorithm.
Absolutely. The good old internet, man. The internet. I need to... do less internet. I think I've been like thinking about just doing like only doing the business page. Like
it's tough, man. The internet is just like it is. It's sugar. It's cocaine. It's frickin' video games. It
tickles
so
your brain
good.
in the right spot.
Yeah, it does, man. And you don't feel good after it. You feel awful after using too much internet. You know, it really is. You're like, man. Oh, who died now? What's happening? What's the newest meme? We're all on the same thing. It's so crazy.
Well,
Kanye should have been president, man.
Kanye
That's what I'm
should have
saying.
been
Nah, I don't
president.
know. I don't know who should have been president.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we should have a president.
Maybe we shouldn't. We should just give violence a chance. Give violence a chance.
Yeah.
Nah, we're fine. Really, we're fine. This country wears such a huge diaper. Like, we're fine.
Yeah.
We got a big old diaper.
And the nice thing is, the more time I spend in Goshen, the more I know about Goshen, the things that are in Goshen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think you can do that with any community.
Yep.
The more you know about your community.
Yep.
That's why I like it's been interesting. I really have been, if you look at my Spotify playlist, it's people that are more local. I love listening to more local stuff just because it's like stuff that's happening here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a great
I like
point.
that stuff. Now, it's interesting to go outside of it, but I think we're going to become more tribal as the internet gets bigger.
Yeah.
Which is awful. I just hope it doesn't become as like tribal as it is.
Well,
like, it's like 1v2 right
I see
now.
what you mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
thought you
my
meant like
team versus
tribal,
your
like
team.
living out for the land type of sense. I'm like, I'm pro that. Let's do that.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be more like you're really plugged into your local community, and then other than that, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. The local community here is so great too. Like,
Yeah.
it really is. This is a wholehearted place.
Yeah,
Totally. Like,
it's fun to watch, dude, because it's like it's beautiful. That's why I love Goshen, man. Because all right, let me throw some examples out there.
Yeah.
So I'll see different people, and I follow like the local news and stuff like that, and so you see them commenting on different things, and so you see like people on both sides commenting about different things, and it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is when like Janice went on to Fox Business Morning, bro. And like they go on the Fox Business Morning, and it's dope because they're kind of like got selected to do it, but everyone there's like a certain selector of Goshen that was mad that they went on Fox. And I love that. They're
really?
like, yeah, why did they go Fox? Not really, but like you could tell they were just kind of like, why'd you guys have to go there? Because it's
no
fun.
publicity is bad publicity.
Exactly. I saw some comments on that. It was beautiful. I was like, this is yeah. And you see it on both sides. You see it on both sides. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm trying to say, I don't know. I don't know where I'm at. I keep.
Do you remember when in Goshen Bruco, a cop went into Goshen Bruco with his gun? He was off duty, and then Goshen Bruco, and that whole thing blew up.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So for people who don't know, let me just like lay the scene. So Goshen Bruco, they didn't have any signs. They didn't say anything. But an undercover cop goes in, or a cop off duty, I forget what it was, goes in, and someone sees his gun, and someone in Goshen Bruco freaks out, and then they like say something, and so then the person, I think in the front, kicks out the undercover officers or the policemen who are off duty out of Goshen Bruco because they have a gun, and then Goshen gets like
Totally
bent out of shape, dude. It was so great. I saw one guy who's never been in Goshen Bruco in his life said, "I will never go there. I will never be part of this." He was like, "Yeah, he's never been there before." It was just, or do you remember when Embassy Coffee had because they weren't wearing masks? It's just so beautiful. You're watching it play out in real time here, and we're working through it, and that is Goshen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
still go to Embassy.
Political marketing. I hate political marketing. Like.
It's working though, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Goshen Bruco has never seen as much publicity as when they
and
kicked
that
out the
also wasn't necessarily like. I don't know. Maybe it was a stunt. Maybe it wasn't.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it was a stunt.
Yeah,
I don't think it was as bad as everyone thought it was. I also don't know. Like, Goshen Bruco has the right to say, "Hey, like, we don't want your guns in."
Yeah.
Like, drinking and guns don't always go well together.
Right. Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like,
definitely.
yeah, like guns and drinking don't always like they're not the.
Well,
you can get in trouble for
and
that.
maybe
you can actually get in.
Maybe you just don't want cops at your place. Like we don't want cops here.
if they didn't have guns, I don't think they would have kicked out the cops.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the thing. I think it was the fact that someone saw a gun, and I think we live in a town of Mennonites, and they freak out when they see that, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I didn't even know that like was.
Okay.
I like heard about it, and that was it. I didn't even know that people were like.
oh, the comments were beautiful. That was like 2018. That was a minute ago.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, pulling up old Goshen drama.
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
We're having it. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
we're like right in the middle of like small town, like we're small enough that pretty much everybody's in your shit, but big
not
enough.
Really.
Yeah, but big enough that almost not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Political marketing. God damn it. That just like. I think there's a special place in hell for that type of like.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't. You can. It just feels like it's just a contribution to like people getting frustrated at something that's probably unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's why.
I think people start stuff with each other all the time, and it just gets pushed into that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how everything is becoming political. So
Yeah.
no matter if someone has a beef with me, at some point it'll probably become political. And if someone has a beef with you, it probably becomes political. That's just the world we're living in.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. That's like politics is in everything now.
Yeah.
It's in sports. It's in like it's in gaming. It's in every single thing you do.
Yeah. Man, that's it makes me feel like I'm like actually maybe more retracted than I think that I am.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know. I feel I pretty well keep to myself. Like,
yeah.
I see this and that, but I try really hard to just like let it pass by, like, because I don't even. Yeah, there's some shit like that. I guess I just keep my nose out of it because I know how. Yeah, no, I know how bad. I know how pissed I'll get.
It's
like,
the cocaine, bro.
It's the cocaine.
Yeah, you are doing a great job by keeping your nose out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't need it. You don't need it. It doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
It only just hurts you.
Yeah. The coke jokes.
It's a fun time.
It's hilarious because right now, like one of my favorite songs is called "Cocaine Country Dancing" by Paul. Cawthon or Cathan or something like that.
Oh, really?
It's just like groovy funk country. It's spectacular. Really, it's spectacular. But yeah, a lot of weird cocaine references making their way into my life right now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, it's here in Goshen. It's it's all over. So I lived in Florida for a year.
Oh yeah.
And while I was living in Florida, it was so prevalent there. It was
really?
everywhere.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Nightlife.
From what I heard is when they're moving like cocaine to like they'll take like small planes or something. They'll fly from a small island to Florida and then just drop the bales in. Just the patches down in southern Florida. Yeah, just in like citrus groves or whatever. And then people go pick them up. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what I heard. So it's everywhere. There was newspaper clippings of a beach that was close to me where a little girl found a kilo that came up on shore. Yeah. So it was everywhere, man.
Wow.
So,
just airdropping cocaine in Florida.
Yeah, just everywhere. Yeah.
That's
in all the nightlife too. Yeah, it was everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like anywhere where nightlife is super prevalent, there's lots of cocaine.
Yeah.
That's how it is. I had one person tell me one time how much they like cocaine because when they're drunk, they can snort a line of coke and all of a sudden they're not drunk anymore. And I'm like, oh, you're still drunk.
Yeah.
That doesn't change better. And you're like,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's not.
Maybe just Uber, dude. That's not cool. I didn't know that was used for coke.
People figure they use it. It's people have excuses for everything.
Yeah,
it's all good. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I had a guy that I talked to. Well, I knew, and he said that sometimes he sniffed just like meth. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, at least you're snorting it and you're not smoking it. And I'm like you have everyone has, you're doing cocaine.
You're doing drugs. There's no escaping. You're just doing drugs. Well, it's the same with weed. You're just doing drugs. Really, you're just doing a mind-altering substance. That's it's all the same. For a year, I would feed homeless here in Goshen. Yeah, and it was dope because it was over on Cornerstone Church, over by Tony's Famous Grill, credit card corner. And so they would come. It was every night, and we'd have people just try to do the dumbest things. And it's okay, I understand you're gonna do drugs, just don't do them here. Yeah,
just get it out. Just go do something.
Dude, I got a whiz. Is there a place I can do that?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we could probably wrap it up, bro. I don't know. We probably, unless you want to. Yeah, that's upstairs. We've done 2 hours.
Wow.
I don't know if anyone's going to listen at this point. We have to shout out Black Jay. We have to shout out Black Jay.
Yeah, he did request that.
Yeah, shout out Black Jay, dude.
Right,
I won't forget that.
That means he and only he is probably going to listen.
I hope so.
What up, Jay?
Colin, this was wonderful. We, talked through everything.
We covered everything. We solved.
We probably did. Yeah, just 2 dudes in my basement.
Yep.
Solving the world's problems. Yep. Here's what I think. We'll wrap it up real quick.
Let's do it.
I like solving problems.
Yeah.
I think that's just something that I do sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's just is what it is.
Problem solving, baby.
Yeah, but does it go if it's in a small vicinity? Yeah, but if it's a big vicinity, I don't think who knows? Right, you know what I mean? But
you got to start in the middle. Or
we have to at least think about it. And I think
Yep.
you're a problem solver too, dude. You
Yeah.
Sounds like
definitely. Yeah, I'm problem solving.
This was fun, man. I enjoyed podcasting, bro.
That's awesome. I'm sure we can talk a little bit more.
Yeah. Where?
Exclusive stuff.
Yeah, exclusive behind the scenes. Where can people find you?
At CGVisuals.us on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay off my Twitter.
Yeah, don't go
there,
to
probably.
that. Yeah, Twitter's not for you guys.
Yeah, you don't get that probably. Yeah, at CGVisuals.us on Instagram. Best place. There's links to it on my website too, www.cgvisuals.us. You can go there, check out the website, and go to the Instagram. And if people are interested, just send me a DM. I'll get you hooked up with the Discord. And
I'll post it in the
Twitter.
links below,
Perfect.
so you'll be in the show notes. Like you can click on like the more about this.
Yep.
It'll be solid. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Well, I'll probably link your Instagram as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for the day that you post it. I'm gonna be like,
yeah.
Who's listening to all that?
I'll show you. Hey, we started this whole episode with statistics, so I'll share it with the
Perfect.
statistics.
Awesome.
All right, Collin. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man.
Peace, everyone.
See ya. Excellent. I'm gonna take a week.
Yeah. Okay. So.